Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another Chaos Marine, episode. Not stream, just an episode. Thank you for tuning in to today's discussion. For those who are new to Chaos Marines channel, please, actually, thank you for subscribing to Chaos Marine channel. And for those that will be watching or viewing any of the previous videos or this actual stream that's being conducted right now, don't be afraid to subscribe, hit the so-called bell, or that special ring-a-ding bell. And in the bell there are three options. Usually the options are the ones that determine how often, how frequent you get notifications to my channel. So as you choose out of three, pick that suits you well. And always, on every video, I always emphasize, it's not a demand, but I emphasize people leave a comment for their thoughts, ideals, and how the stream made them feel, or all these episodes have made them feel up to this point. Did you take kindly to the information? Did it make you think? Did it make you feel, a certain way? Well, don't take it personal, like always. This is for intellectual conversation and just general dialogue. And we have to really ask these questions and view all forms of subjects that plagues us today. So, always leave a comment after every video so I can read your thoughts and opinions on it. Also, there are, I think now, over a good amount of videos right now on my archives here on my channel. So if you want to know other streams I have done in the past, or any other videos that that might you find fancy, or you like about it, I advise check every video on Chaos Ray channel if you can. I have few short videos, and most of the videos I have are mostly lengthy. Some have kept under roughly 2 hours. Some could be under 2 hours. Some streams, but nonetheless, the content is here, so there's enough for for you to go around and dissect for yourself, and leave your opinions like always. As you know, the subject for tonight's show has fallen, but before I do, let me go for here and find certain links, post up. So don't be offended. Give me a minute. And I give people like 2 or 3 minutes before we start, like always. And I find this subject to be discussed because some people don't talk about it. But I'm starting to notice a trend going on here in the community. Not just America, but just the community in general. So, okay. And now, as I'm looking through my some of my notifications, I'm just going for one last thing. I guess we could start. All right, so let me find my links to post up here. So depending when the mods come here, they probably will share it with me. All right. How you doing, Callie Jane 79? Also, I didn't let anybody know. If you have any ideas or any articles you want to share or want me to look at, you could find it. You can find me on Twitter, which I'm about to share right now. My Twitter and also my Cash App. My Twitter is Chaos Reign 7. And it's not far to find which one is my Twitter. You'll notice me. Um, you could send your articles or you have any ideas or anything besides leave a comment in every video. Will be appreciated. Hold on a second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm doing good. Callie Jane. So there's my Twitter. Also, you see my Cash App, Chaos 8 Rain. For those who want to support the show, yeah, my Cash App's there. And like always, it is a stream that the more you support, the more I could possibly take this to a different direction, maybe more further. Also, I will tell you that some of the shows that I stream will be posted on another outlet. Give me some time. I will post that down the line. But I think that's all I want to say right now. And I gave people enough time. So let us begin. Let me refresh my screen. Oh, let me go back. Hold on. I'm just going up, looking at certain things. All right. Okay, so let me begin. And I'm looking at my other monitor, so I see everything that's going on. Oh, and I forgot. Please like the video as you come in the door. Kylie Jane, if you don't mind, tell the people that come in to know. All right. Why Titus, the 40-year-old black virgin? Does it exist? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's something here trending here in the so-called community that we find an influx and an increase of what I like to call MGTOW and incels amongst the black community. Yes, yes. And there's a growing number, a very quiet but growing number nonetheless. And what I've actually discovered from other streams, and a lot of people feel that they can't believe it, but I like to listen to other people that does content. But even me viewing, and if I really ask the question, some males over the age of 18, going on over 35, and maybe 40, and I said maybe, loose, will keep it honest and say that they are what we call a virgin. Now, mind you, out of all other races in this country and out the world, the typical virgin we'll find that will touch pussy in life is normally non-black males. And what I mean by non-black males, I mean the males that are, Caucasoid, Asian, maybe Arab, etc. Those are ones that is a normal trend to find right now, not in history, but in today, that you can find a good portion of them could be virgins up to the age of 40 years old. But now, and I'm gonna get pushback. There is a slow trend of black males that subscribe to MGTOW and incel behavior that are actually virgins, even as late as their late 20s, and hell, in their mid to late 30s. And we can go 40 years old and 50 years old. To Mr. Samuels' remarks that he mentioned. And I've noticed a lot of black males had their eyebrows raised and said, "What? There is black men out here in this country or anywhere we reside. But let's say, for sake of conversation, we're in America, so let's stick to the conversation here. Are virgins at an older age? Are you serious? And I say to myself, and I think back to myself in the term events. Yes, this is a possibility. Yes, this does exist. Of course. Why not? And the funny thing about all this, and I say Todd, Colleen J, can you please tell Miss Topaz what I told earlier in my previous stream? If you can't let it in on the thing with the moderator, can you do that for me? Thank you. That, let me look. That because of this trend and this phenomenon we call social media, I think that is one of the main major corporates. And I mean major corporates, not the real culprit, but it's one of the major culprits that is starting to create this growing trend of some of these black males that quote unquote give themselves these labels like they're non-select and all this stuff that someone have never smelled up or even had intercourse with a woman. Hell, they even come close to even tasting a woman. Everyone keep 100. I can't speak for myself, you know what I'm saying? But as a man, when I come across and hearing this now, that there are black men out here there are not many, but let's say a growing trend of black men that's about that life, that's never interact with a girl, kiss a girl, hell, not even fuck a girl, if you want to keep it 100. It was foreign in the black community. You hear this, the saying, ladies and gentlemen, that in this society, you could just fall on a banana peel into some pussy. But that is not the case for every black male. No, no, that's not the case. Some of these dudes are very, very much very antisocial. They could be considered quote unquote weird, like these chicks be saying that they come across some of these, and some of these dudes are just, they're not showing no strive or attempt or trying to interact with a woman. At least try. Hell, you're better off if you're a man of a certain age and you're intimidated by a woman that is a certain scale. Like let's say she's a high 7 going on 8, and you're afraid to confront and talk to her. Okay, but if you're not even talking to any woman, that means no matter what scale she is lay upon, you're not gonna talk to her. That's a problem. That's a very much big problem, and I think it's a danger in our society for us as a black people, as a collective. Um, hold on. Let me refresh my page. So the one thing, and you know one thing, I will open this up after I go for my little talking. That isn't it ironic that back in then when most everybody that's born a Gen Xer or maybe early millennial, this is not much of an issue. But to those the men, what generation you come from, to find any man that's in his 40s or 50s that never had intercourse with a woman, the only thing that comes to my mind today when I hear this is that one of two things. One, your parents failed you. Either your father failed you, your mother also failed you because they coddled you and they shed you from the world instead of experience the world head on. Yeah, you might have accomplished surveys. You might have got a good job and got a good paying wage if you're in the tech field or any other high profession where you're making more than 50K a year. But to find that you're at this point in your life, that let's say if you own a house, apartment, or you still live with your parents, that for you to not sit there and experience interacting with the opposite sex or not making an attempt in our society, to keep it real, brothers, and don't be offended, you're that will be considered weird. And one reason why I would say it's weird because we are known as men, black men, to be that trendsetters, to not only break down barriers, but be that I don't like to use the word swag towards the ladies. Not everybody got that, but this is what is represented when you hear about what is special about a black man. These are things that we fall under. To find some or a good portion of the men in our society, especially in this country, that's not living up to that expectation or not even attempting to try to be the best version of himself, it's a problem. And look at the amount of not only opportunities, but think about this, ladies. And I know I got some ladies on the chat room. Have y'all noticed for the past year, maybe longer, that a lot of these dudes that said that they can never get the woman back in high school, or hell, they can't even get the woman that they want that is considered quote unquote bad looking, got the banging body, nice hips, nice ass, big titties, that they can't get because the woman will curve them and go with the so-called quote unquote bum dude. I know that it's frustrating for a lot of males, but to sit there to find that most of the males that don't even want to attempt to try, to me, it's a fucking problem. Why is it that people that are coaches, like for example, Mr. Samuels, is giving advice and helping to better some of these males, like a certain consultation of an image coach, come across sitting here seeing 3 or more men a week about issues of conversing and communicating with women, much as just to, you know, put himself in a position to get out and be more, take more risk in life in regards to being out there in the world, like dating in the dating field. Go out a date, put on something decent, go out there, a bar or somewhere, and have a conversation with me. If a person like him had to sit there, fights you to get out there just to put yourself out there so you be in position to get a woman, you're in trouble. And to me, I find this very much a growing trend in the community. It's not a big trend, but it is a growing trend nonetheless. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I did a stream on incel, the manosphere, all that. Go back to my channel, go find those videos and watch it, and leave a comment. I talked about this. Hell, I did a stream and a show on this. And now to find out in the 21st century, to find out we're finding 40 to 50-year-old black virgin males. It is outright shameful. Shameful. And mind you, a lot of women complain about there's not enough viable black men out here. But to find out some of them that have the potential, that's not putting themselves in position, is very shameful in our society. Now I know brothers that, the ones that do try and eventually just gave up. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that don't even try at all. Why? Why will you not try to go find a gal, kiss a girl, and potentially maybe love her and fuck her and then make her your wife one day? Why? It's questionable. Very questionable. It makes you wonder if some of these dudes, if they never had regular intercourse with women, are they screwing men? Because this is beyond incel behavior or a man going his own way. I think there's a form of homosexual behavior going on here. I don't know. Can somebody give me an answer? Now I hear some women could be celibate, which is also questionable, but that's another story. That's not the main premise of the show tonight. We're talking about the men tonight. But to find a man, talking about say he's involuntary celibate or he's going his own way. I wonder what category in the box I should put you. Hmm? Hmm? I shouldn't be here about 40, 50-year-old black male virgins in the society in America where we live at. But then again, after I was watching the same, I think, stream or documentary of a Caucasoid man explaining about social media and its disease, I did stream on this, playing his views on what happens when you make people very antisocial in the society. This is what it breeds. This is what it harbors. It promotes incel slash MGTOW behavior towards men. Not only Caucasoid men, but also now it's doing the same thing for black males. We live in a so-called digital age where people don't have conversation more. They go and rush, pick up their smartphone, their tablet, and their smartphone is sometimes smarter than them, which I don't know why that's the case, but that's another story. They're communicating, and then eventually, that as far as the communication go. But when they come in front to talk to women, it's a no-show. And mind you, ladies, you know of a particular YouTuber said that he communicates primarily through texting or email. And their excuse is because I'm busy, so I have to. Well, if you had time to do all that, you had time to pick up the fucking phone and have a conversation. There is no excuse for any male over the age of 20 and above to be engaged in only antisocial behaviors where they're not even interacting with the opposite sex. Yes, the woman will sit there, will make you look stupid. They will sit there and give you rejection. Yes, I know. It's part of life. You gotta overcome that. You gotta get over it. You got, and matter of fact, I tell most dudes this: anticipate the rejection. Let's keep it real. If you're a person that you have no confidence, my advice when you talk to women, expect the rejection and love it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's gonna make you a better fucking man. Mark my word. The more rejections you get, the more you know what you have to do differently. Because if you that say no, somebody will say fucking yes. The few people that say no, only a few will say fucking yes. But you will not know because you taking yourself out of the competition with your sick behavior. With your sick behavior. You're no good antisocial ass. You coward ass. You no good say I'm afraid that woman's no. Man up. I know your mom failed you if she raised you all by your she raised you throughout when you're little to your adult. The only thing you could do to redeem yourself to get some balls, you will have no choice but to better yourself. If that means you have to leave that single household, your mother, and go out your own just to experience what and get kicked in your face in real life, then you need to do it. If you have to sit there for whatever reason, if you don't feel that you don't look, your image is not good, then I would recommend if you're making more than 50K a year to go see not only therapy but a therapist. And I don't like reference these therapists, these psych therapists, because they are raping you mentally. But I'm not going to tell that's another string. But they will sit there and hear you out so you could lay out your props. Go do that. And also, if you have that money and you're making that money and you have no children, because it's hard for you to have children because most of y'all not making an attempt to sit there, screw a woman and knock her up. Because most likely, when most dudes are talking about say they don't have no children, obviously, either two things. Either you getting some, you're not getting some. regardless of some men wearing condoms or not. You hear me? You go and go see an actual consultant, an image consultant, and there are some right now. I'm not giving them reference because I don't give them no promotion up here. You know who I'm talking about. You go spend that money and go talk to that woman or that man that's expert in that, and get your image in order. And besides your body, anybody can improve their body. There's Planet Fitness. There's a gym in your university. There's gyms all over America right now. And right now, it's a business right now. So make use of it. Make use of it, please. To better your body, to tone your body, so your image looks better. If you're too big as a brother, then obviously my recommendation, you're going to have to cut out the sugar and the carbs. I'm speaking so because, like any brand, we're always in a work in progress. We had to cut those things out of our diet. We might have to, as men, if we're not doing it, we're going to have to drink more water. A lot of us are drinking sodas, alcohol, which is bad for the body, bad for the liver and the kidney. That does damage. And the liver needs to be functioning at a certain level efficiency so that way it can break down this toxic in your gut so you don't accumulate more waste, so you don't put on more weight, which they don't tell you about this. But I'm telling you this firsthand so you get this. And that way your body will start realigning itself so that way when you go out and do workouts, either lifting or doing cardio, you will see a much more better results at a more faster pace. And before anything, I would tell most dudes out of anything, you might have to cut that shit out your diet from the start before you even start doing the exercise. Because you got all that junk and you still eating that junk and you still have that junk in your system, it's very hard to sit there, put on a good 30 minutes or more in the gym to see some results. Because some of the foods we eat today are very denaturized, have no vitamins, no usefulness. They got some, but not enough to keep your organs and your genetics functioning at a higher rate, so that way your body functions at its peak. So these are my recommendations. I also would tell most men, and to be honest with you, I'm not a person that give health advice. I'm not a health consultant. I only refer to certain literature to go from there. You can also see a doctor for where you stand health wise. That also helps. But if you're, like I said, your living habits are the effects of your mental capacity, which eventually leads to all other things that you can't do as a man. Hell, some of us men don't think straight because we got too much junk in our system. It compromises our intelligence. That's why when me or Mary or any we have the honest people, it seems like people are not getting it, not conceptualizing. So these are a few three things I recommend most males or men, sorry, to do to start this journey so you can slowly get out of these labels and these behaviors as an adult. I should not be hearing men over the age of 20 or 30, and hell, even 40, talking about they are going their own way, a MGTOW or a fucking incel. And I'm not gonna go in about these pills. There's too many brothers out here that already debunked those stupid myths that these dudes be falling about and talking about the matrix and all this stuff. Talking about you're not this pill and this shit. And I look at him and say, well, it seemed like to me you need to be off the drugs because it's making you look dunce and stupid. So let me breathe for a second. And I'm actually very mad about this now that I'm talking this having this conversation. Because you think all we gone through as men, and we all know we're our worst critic and we go hard on ourselves the most. And other men challenge other men so we can be better. But to find that we're at this point where a lot of men, hold on a second, a lot of men that I'm hearing now, and I have not been around men that will keep it honest, say that they're virgins over the age of 30 or late 20s. Very small percent from what I know that might be virgins. I say might be. And usually religion is maybe the cause of that stupidness. Sometimes I'm saving myself from marriage, all this stupidness. I mean, I look at some men that you dumb as hell. Now I'm saying you're supposed to be a whore, but you should be able to experience with women. You know what I'm saying? Talk to women. Go on dates at least. Hell, kiss a woman. Dance with women. And people still dance nowadays, which in most scenes is very obsolete now because you go to any club, depending on where you at, most people, black people, don't even interact and dance with each other, unless maybe it's their boyfriend, girlfriend. They don't sit there, go out and spend the money to dance with, just have a good time with men. You see homosexuality in the club. Hold on, that's annoying. Let me do this. Let me do this stupidness. This no good faggot. Mark off that. You see, hold on. Sorry guys. You see women slapping each other in the butt, dance with each other. Not at one time let a man hold and dance, or men sitting there doing dances by themselves, maybe, and not even interact and dance with women. But this society promotes, as much women and men don't want to hear it, they do promote homosexuality amongst the community. Matter of fact, it's even taboo now to do certain things in the society. They make it seem like if you're a man and let's say you're able to get a woman that you offer your hand in marriage, that you find these dudes calling men that have relationship with a woman as a simp. I look at those same men that mention it and talk that garbage out their mouth, and I look dead. I would look them dead in the eye and say, "Are you incel? Are you MGTOW? Are you a?" I mean, I'm just keeping it real because that's what you should be doing as a man. Besides getting your shit together. I'm not sure what world most people live in today, but this is a very weird world. It is getting very worse as time progresses. I don't like what I'm seeing right now. I don't like to hear what either. But to find that this does exist, and I mentioned this with other brothers from what I'm hearing, they make it seem like this is some foreign shit, like this shit don't exist. And the reason to certain black males, what's this? All right, hold on a second. Let me look what's in there. Yeah, to find out this exists, it's man, it's just some weird shit. That's all I gotta tell you. I mean, it's some weird shit. Um, but my solutions to really all this, from what I said earlier, those are three things black men could do right now to better themselves. So then get out of this nonsense behavior, this weird behavior that they're engaged in right now. This antisocial behavior. This antisocial behavior. This antisocial behavior. It's no good. Get your life in order, please. If you're afraid of rejection, I advise embrace and reject. Matter of fact, I would say go right now and get rejected tomorrow. Do it now. Don't wait. Let a woman tell you, say, get out my face or something. Make your feelings get hurt. So that way you could sit there and think like any man. Because, and be honest, let's keep 100. A lot of men not gonna like this. The only reason why we're not operating as men as in this society, because we're not solving the fucking problems that we face. Let me say it again. The only reason why we're not acting as men in society, because we're not solving the problems that we face in society. as black men. And because of this, what you're seeing now for the last 60 years, not 50, 60 years, we're not solving the problems, not only big issue what we have faced here in the West, we call America, but us as collectively, as men, globally. Just now, I was going back through some archives, and I know some brothers were talking about this movie called The Joker. Now, mind you, I don't watch a lot of movies like that no more in theaters. But let's say I watch a comic book movie. It has to be something that's intriguing that I can get some out of it. To find that most men that watch that garbage and noticing a lot of things that this highly weird is promoting, that they've been promoting now for years now. They're really pushing hard for this interracial agenda between black female or black woman and the Caucasoid male. They push so hard, they put the certain scenarios of black women in the Joker movie on a typical woman, black woman, from the ratchet to the educated, so-called educated, to the selected black woman, the one that's natural looking, sexy looking, and stuff. They put all the scenarios of the black woman in that movie for the Joker. And the Joker made love and had, well, actually, he kind of had some freaky sex or whatever sex, from what I'm hearing, on the natural selected black woman. Imagine that. Imagine that. But why? Why is Hollywood pushing this and putting it out there in front of you, black male? I'll tell you why. Because he is slapping you in your face and telling us that I could be a woman any day, all day if I see. And I could be non-select, weird, geeky, ugly looking. I could still get your woman at a given notice, and she will give me the pussy without any fight or any resistance. That's the message that movie depicted. Now, mind you, I could have watched it and then get a better perspective from what it said from the spoilers, but I don't need to because I already know what the agenda is, and that's what they push. And they push that because they do that to spite you, to make mockery you, and slap your face, let you know you're less of a man because he got your chick. So those dudes that talk about said that they're going and find other options. I mean, I'll get a good look at him and say, when I look at you, you look like you're a little bitch anyway. So better off you go over there, run along, and go play with your toys, and let the actual men that's doing real things do the work. Because men, I'm telling you this, black man, you should not entertain children. And usually children are the ones that bitch and complain about problems and always want their way. But you can't always have your way. You're going to have to grow the fuck up one way or the other. Do you hear me? So if you feel that you're not going to play a role to better this race, it's better off you go elsewhere. Go divest. Go and may the so-called creation watch over your no good divesting ass, which they're not really watching it because they look down upon it. And matter of fact, they're gonna look at it in shame. So, all right. So this one I'm about to do. I'm gonna look at the chat room, and I might just open this up a little bit. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. A lot of people have been right in the chat room. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let me see if anything else I had to find in set anything else. Let me think. I did clear this up. I cleared that up. If you're still in the building, I'm Max and I'm Mary. Let me know. Um, let me see. One other thing to let people know. To be honest with you, when we always look at how we could better ourselves as not only men, but let's say what is a better solution for the community. Our community can be fixed, but like always, like anything you do to correct or to repair anything, it does take work. I'm aware of this, and a lot of men and women are aware of this. But a lot of our people today in the society, they've been too complacent and lazy to really do just the small work that will eventually probably lead to bigger works. And that's the problem. And we love to bitch about the problems all day, every day. And it sounds good. Matter of fact, it not only sounds good, it's kind of entertaining in what we see today. But when we look at it today, once the entertainment is done, you have to go back out there in your regular lives to deal with the world. And the world is never pretty. The world kind of abuse you if they see fit, if you don't know how to protect yourself and fight back properly. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping that this message be clear enough to a lot of people. And I want people to, leave their thoughts and opinions and comments during the end of the stream, make them really reflect on what I said. This is going to go over a lot of males' heads. I don't really give a crap because it has to be said. I don't think no one else has done a video stream on this, focus on this, because this is the thing that's being kept quiet amongst our community. The very silent 40-year-old black male virgins who we find in our communities that's slowly on the rise. And I always question what use does these men that's doing something with their life or so-called being constructive that's doing to really better the black race? I always question it because if you live throughout most of your life, almost a century life, and never interact with women or had got any from women, but you're doing all the other things, it seemed to me that one or two things that comes to mind: either you're scared and you don't want to even try, or you're just a homosexual. It's one or the other that comes to my mind. Because I should not be hearing men that and I'm gonna keep it real. Like Mr. Samuel said, for most of you dudes that take freedom lightly, that you're free, you're able to do what you want, especially if you've never been in jail before, you're squandering your freedom. Usually people that's in jail, people in jail have no choice but to eat, shit, and work that little, I think, under 25-cent hour jobs in the jail for the time they spent in prison. You as a black man that has never been incarcerated in life, the only thing you do the same thing like the person in jail is that you eat, you shit, and you work your job and come home. That is not considered living. It is never considered living. So you gotta do better. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the StreamYard here. And for those who want to come up and express your thoughts and opinions to what you heard tonight. I've said a lot, and I do not take back what I just said, because it needs to be said, because I expect better from Black Collective. And if you can't even better yourself now, then obviously you're not going to. That's my thoughts and opinion. So as I now open the lines and panel for people's thoughts and opinion, I'll open the first person up, Maximus Overdrive. You're on the panel.
Hoorah! What's going on, brother Chaos?
I'm good. I'm good.
Peace to the panel.
Yes. I'm
Good
good.
stuff. Good stuff, my brother.
Yes.
Good
And one
stuff.
thing. Platinum Elite. please come up if you feel that what is said is problematic about black women. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinion.
Yeah, me too. Come on
Um,
up.
Max, it's kind of good that you catch my stream. I was going back through the stream you did today about your views on relationships. I didn't get a
Hmm.
chance to listen to all of it. I only listened to halfway, and I had like an hour to go. I couldn't really get a chance, but I really want to finish this technically, but to get my thoughts and opinions. But I like what I was here so far, and how things
Okay.
were back in the day that people don't understand that they don't take for granted now. I mean,
Hmm.
back then, yeah, you had to work just to get a woman. And a lot of
That's
men don't
right.
want to do that. Today, and me and Mary would talk briefly about this, that it's easy now for a brother slipping on a banana peel and into some coochie. Follow me?
Uh-huh.
But 30 years ago, I'm saying only 30 years because you were an adult back in the 80s, that's not the case. You had to put in some work for a woman to really, give you the time that much less give you the goods.
Hmm. This is true.
And so, hold on, let me open this. Oh, is that a Great Library? Amir? All right, he'll speak in a second. Yeah, so that's something that I kind of got I really understand and learned because a lot of students that sit there say that they can't get a woman or complain woman or much less are the virgins out here in this world that say there's
Hmm.
not really much of an excuse after you're a certain age as a man. You know what I'm saying? If all you do
Yeah.
is work and go home and don't even have the conversation with women or try, it's a problematic, and that it takes you out of the competition at all to be a supermate for a woman, just a woman, you know. And a lot of women
Right.
that complain, but they have good choice to complain about when they say they're not much viable men. And as time progressed, they're not gonna see much more less viable men if these men do exist, are starting to exist, which is very
Uh-huh.
frightening. So I mean, oh, and I see platinum up here. So let me see him up here. All right.
Hey,
So
can you hear me?
yeah, I get it. But
Okay.
Max, you could talk before everybody else talk. I let you up here first.
Well, if you if you listen to that stream up to where Poetic Kells came in, right?
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on,
where I
give me
stopped.
hold on,
And
give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Let me go on mute for a second. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
all right, all right. Mary, you're on the road. Some you can't speak. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, I see platinum. All right, go ahead, platinum. Speak your mind. While everybody else is
No,
speaking.
I didn't necessarily I understand, you seek your women from different lands because you're tired of the black woman's bullshit. I understand that.
Mhm.
But that's any woman though. I mean, any woman can play you, hustle you, bullshit you. I mean, you just got to be unfortunately,
But
that's
platinum, it's not saying what women could do to a man. It's the dudes that's not even in the game at all. Some of them not even talking to anyone. Some of them are scared to interact with one. That's the whole premise of the stream.
but see, on that one though, bro, that's a mental problem.
Well, wherever you want to call it, is some illness or
Well,
something. Go ahead.
It,
here's the
let me just tell you, there's a girl out here. I'm in Memphis. She, you could say, retarded. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but some would say slow. Right. Well, let's put it like this here. Because she wasn't attractive, but she was not unattractive, and she had a nice shape.
Mm-hmm.
She wound up 5 kids. All of her kids were getting put in child protective services because they did not deem her capable of raising them. They felt she was that mentally, lacking. She lived with her elderly grandmother, and all she did, walk out the house, go to the store, bring back food. They wind up putting her in a like a halfway home or something. But her problem was all you had to do was just say, "Hey, come back here with me. Come behind this garbage can. Hey, come over here real quick." She do it. No
yeah, but you
rejection.
see,
No, I'm saying no. She was slow like that, but she got fucked. She got literally fucked, where they had to protect her from the guys. You're talking about guys who basically have that type of mental range, but they don't have no ability to, to talk to women. That's ain't nothing you can do. That's simply, you got a mental problem, bro.
Yeah, well, you see, the problem I got with what you said. We got an echo.
Hold on, let me check. Platinum, make sure you don't have no other device on deck.
I don't have anything on. I got to,
let me see, Max. Let me see.
The YouTube mute. The YouTube muted, and the Streamlabs, I was getting the audio from that, but you can't hear my. You shouldn't be able to hear.
We good. I think Max, speak. Let me see. You got anything on?
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the echo is gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the problem I got with that, right? You see, a lot of our black women, right, suffer from undiagnosed mental illnesses. Okay, and so this is where you're going to get this kind of strange behavior from. When you don't know that you're mentally ill, no one has checked you or get you to once over or whatever, then yeah, you're going to get strange behavior like that. See, I think it's ignorant to make these kind of comments when you don't really know what the woman is going through and how she got into that state of mind. See, I think we're reckless when we start calling names and saying that people are dumb and people are slow and retarded when we really don't know what was behind them getting that way. You see, there's reasons why people end up that way. Okay? They don't just come out of the womb like that. Things happen. Okay? Black women are on the short end of the stick when it comes down to being diagnosed with mental illnesses. This is why a lot of them harm children, because they don't know that there's something wrong with them, especially postpartum depression. A lot of our women suffer from postpartum depression because it's undiagnosed when they come out of the hospital and they end up doing something to their children. Okay, this is how you get black women putting their babies in microwave ovens because they're suffering from one of the worst cases of postpartum depression that you can possibly find. The kind that starts to make you think that your baby's a demon, okay, and it fell out of the sky. You see pink elephants flying around and stuff like that, okay? But you see, we're reckless, though, because we have this undying hatred for our women because we've been taught to hate each other. You guys keep perpetuating this stuff every time you come on YouTube and open up your mouth and spew out this kind of ignorance. This is the problem I have.
Okay. If there was any reference to the girl I was talking about, she's in a assisted living center, and her children were removed from her. I don't know. I wasn't in her family, so I can't tell you specific what the diagnosis, but I saw her growing up. She was considered slow. And I watched guys say nothing. They talked about how if she came up, to buy some whatever for her family, they're going to ask her to come behind the garbage can. And she walked back there.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead, bro.
What physician did she see, right, that you heard say that she was slow?
Her family told me she was slow, like her brother.
Well, her family qualified physicians, sir.
No,
they weren't. See, this is what I'm talking about ignorance.
Now, bro, you wrong. Look, bro, I understand where you're coming from, but his topic was about dudes, who
I
are
get
virgins.
that, but you came up here making ignorant, unfounded statements
that
have to be addressed.
Why did they take her kids from her?
Because it's obvious she's mentally unstable to take care of them.
Okay.
That happens when someone is suffering from a mental illness.
Okay, and she should not have. Well, they couldn't watch her 24/7, man. I mean, she was growing up, and guys, her age, they were, talking to her like they would talk to any other woman, but she was the one who decided to join them, in the bushes.
If she's suffering from a mental illness, right, then what makes you think she can make cognitive decisions?
I didn't say she made good decisions. I'm just explaining.
Okay, but you're saying
she was a woman she's just a female. She was just like those guys who can't get laid. Because see, women are not going up to men. Women are not saying, "Hey, mister, come behind this garbage can with me."
You're
Okay,
talking about a person that is suffering from a mental illness.
I know.
Have you ever been in a mental institution?
No,
Have you ever dealt with people? Have you ever dealt with people who were out of touch with reality?
no, not intimately. No.
Right. You've never been around them. You don't know the type of behavior, right, that comes from that kind of mental illness. And let me ask you another question. You said something about watching someone 24 hours a day. What unqualified people should be watching someone with a mental illness 24 hours a day?
Her grandma, that family kept her. I mean, they didn't.
They are unqualified, sir. They are not trained professionals.
Well, they had some like drug problems in the family too, so that's why her grandmama right. Her grandmama was way too old to be trying to raise her.
Drug
And
issues and mental illnesses are two different things, sir.
no, I'm saying her grandmother wound up having to raise her because of her mother got caught up in the drugs and whatnot, and they really
Case
wasn't
in
watching
point,
her. Yeah,
right
well,
now,
she was
right.
young and she was having sex and she had
I got
5
all. I
kids.
got it. Yeah, I got you. Right. You keep harping on his 5 kids. Now let me explain something to you. Right. When you saw her going behind dumpsters and all these types of things, right? Did it ever dawn on you that maybe at some point she should have got some help before that behavior started to rear its ugly head?
Did it dawn on me? No,
Yeah.
no, because it was first of all she was in my family, and she was walking back there with them guys, and they were around, her
Okay.
age,
So you
and
don't care about it. So you don't care
well,
about
no,
it,
ain't nothing
right?
I could do about it. Because no,
Uh,
bro, how am I prevent? How am I prevent that from happening? Explain that one to
no
me.
one. No one is saying that you should prevent it or keep prevent. I'm asking you this: do you care about the woman?
Well, personally, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I have a general, yeah, I have a concern for
Did you
everyone.
did you try to get her some help?
Oh no, bro, I couldn't. There's nothing I could do. Her
Okay,
family, her
all right, but then you
grandmother.
don't care. But then you don't care about it then.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that, bro. I'm just simply making a point of women who suffer the same illness or suffer the same
Well,
situation.
first, what you
And the
see, here we
big
go again. You
difference,
see,
no, the
here we go with
difference,
these.
no,
Here
it's
we
not
go with
because
these
you're talking
statements.
about a man who has some type of mental issue or is a virgin at an older age, 43,
I'm not.
50.
I'm not.
Wait a minute,
That's
wait a
not
minute,
what
wait a
I'm.
minute, bro. Wait a minute. That man is called every name in the book. At least from where I'm at, that man is talked about like a dog. Yet that woman who shouldn't even be doing that, they just took the kid from they, well, we got to stop her from that.
That's a.
I'm
That
just
is
saying,
a.
it's
That is a
amazing how,
very. That's a very immature argument to try to put in front of us right now. Are you kidding me?
I'm that we're down here, bro. If you mentally ill and if you if you down here in Memphis and you like that, you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna have even
I mean,
more
are you
problems.
honestly trying to present a serious argument about, well, you know what? Um, they say
Uh,
this about men and don't say this about women.
no. Look, bro. If guys with mental illnesses, whether they're diagnosed or undiagnosed, guys like that will find even more trouble for themselves if they don't, find some way to be with a woman.
You ever heard of the term that you have to pay the price to be the boss?
The cost to be the boss. Y'all heard that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you see, we're the leaders. We're the ones who make all the laws. We're the movers and shakers. So things are going to be different for us. Women aren't movers and shakers. They're caretakers. They're nurturers. Okay, they are the ones who we take care of.
Okay. You said we, now you talking like a village, right?
Men.
You said men, okay. Well, no, I mean, that first of all, that wasn't, it was unfortunate what happened to her.
Right,
Um,
right. And this is a woman that you care nothing about,
woman
right?
I
So you
don't
didn't reach
know.
out to help her. You didn't reach out to help her because you have this kind of warped mentality that, well, you know what? They're not doing that to men, so I ain't gonna help her.
What nah, I help people all the time. I
Well, why didn't
disagree
you
with
help
you.
her, sir?
Bro, that's like me putting myself in the position of any
Well,
man with his woman. What I'm supposed to do? What am I
I
supposed to
don't, I
do?
don't, I don't know. I don't know why not. You're sitting up here talking about it as
No,
if she's the Sunday news.
they don't believe in abortion down here. Her family didn't. By the time they realized she was pregnant, she was going to have the baby.
How do you know so much information about
Because
someone you don't care about?
Them. I grew up around them. I care about them like they care about me. I grew up around them.
Well. If you knew all of this, right, then at some point you must have known she was suffering from some kind of mental illness because she had erratic behavior. She had behavior that was unbecoming of a woman. I'm sure that you've seen that, didn't you?
No,
I mean, you seem to be very.
They talked her behind. They talked her into the bushes. You know, the guys hanging out in front of the store.
They talked her into the bushes. Well, what do? Sit there and watch?
No. We found out
how
later.
Do you know? How do you know they talked her into the bushes?
Because they would be hanging up at the store. That's where they push their dope and shit. So
you just believe anything that they're telling you. You didn't see anything for yourself, right?
Oh no, I never once saw looked.
Okay, so right. So you never once. Right. See, this is my point. You see, you never once saw her talk to anybody behind the bushes, right? But yet you're sitting here so many years later talking about she went behind the bushes when you really don't know if she did or not.
I do. Well, I do know she did it because the guy.
Well, how do you know? You've never seen it, sir. You just said you didn't see it.
I don't have to see that, man, and I don't want to see it. I'm just simply saying the guy confessed to what was happening because they got it's like two different guys.
You've never seen it, then you can't sit up here and talk about it as if you did see it.
Go ahead, man. I disagree with you.
How are you disagreeing? You're sitting up here talking about something like you've seen it, right? But you just said you didn't see it.
These over 40 and 50-year-old virgins, do you see them?
That's a bunch of useless rhetoric, dude. We're talking about facts here.
You said I gotta see it.
Yes. You're talking about something you actually you're talking about it like you saw it, but you're saying that you didn't see it do it. So how do you know what was told to you? How do you know what was told to you was actually correct, sir?
Oh, it was correct.
How do you know that? What is your evidence of that?
I know her. I know the family. It's correct.
Know her. Okay, so if you're saying you know her, then at some point you must have seen this peculiar behavior, right?
I knew what they were doing when she would walk up to the store. I know they had told her to stop doing it, and I know that some kind of way, even though she was told not to do this and that, when she got back, she wound up doing it again.
Did you witness the behavior? Yes or no?
No, I didn't witness it. No, not firsthand. No.
Okay. So you sitting up here just talking about a bunch of BS. Okay. You don't know the one,
bro. It's a real story because I seen her.
No, it's the real story right now that you're talking about something you really have no information on. That's the real story right now. No. The story is developing right now that you don't know what you're talking about. You didn't even present any evidence of what you're talking about. You just denied all of the evidence.
I just gave you a story that I witnessed in my life. You don't believe. Okay,
I just asked you what you witnessed. I just asked you what you witnessed, right? You said nothing.
I know. I don't have to. Look, bro. If you think I got to go that far, I'm just trying to help you out. But you know.
Wait. Do I think you have to go that far? You've already went there. What are you talking about?
If I got to go and produce documents and people on my stories.
No, you see.
Bro, it happened the way I said it happened. You just don't have to believe it. Just leave it at that.
I don't believe it because you just said you never witnessed it.
Okay.
What you're talking about, you said you had no eyewitness account of. You didn't see the girl talking anybody into the bushes. You said you didn't see the dramatic behavior, but yet you're saying that she's slow and she's retarded, all this other stuff. How do you know all of that when you've never witnessed anything?
State took the babies.
Okay, because they diagnosed her with a mental illness. They're not going to let children be around people who are crazy. My thing is, where is your credentials to diagnose her, right, as retarded, sir?
I was told by her brother she was slow.
And her brother is what medical degree he has? What medical school he graduated from?
That's his family, man. My opinion, she was.
Is he a medical professional, sir?
No, but in my opinion, he wasn't going to tell me like.
You see, we all have loved ones. We all have loved ones that we love, and we don't want to face the truth that they may be crazy or they may be going senile or something wrong with them. Sometimes we have family members that we hate. I got a brother right now I don't like who I call crazy, but he's not crazy.
Mhm.
So he could have told you any old thing. He's not a qualified professional. He didn't diagnose her. So you're getting information from people who aren't even qualified to make these diagnoses. And you're running with this information.
One thing about blacks, and I know this growing up, you can have a mental illness, and they don't will not do like he's not gonna be no unless you a raving lunatic. They're not gonna just uh it's not gonna be diagnosed. You're just gonna have it.
Just Sarapin said that a lot of black women are suffering from undiagnosed mental illnesses, sir.
Okay, like I said, well, I sort of like grew up in that situation. I seen stuff like that, so I know guys. I went to school with guys who should have been probably institutionalized, and they were right up there, having all types of mistakes, but their family just don't
And
believe in
and
mental
they were
illness.
probably suffering from undiagnosed mental illnesses.
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
people aren't trained. Black people aren't trained to go to therapists. We aren't taught like that.
yeah. If you don't,
Right.
the school has to do the diagnosis almost. If he does something in school, then the school will take it up. But the parent, it's like it's an insult to the parent, and they hope he snap out of it, and then you have to deal with him though. He's tempered. I know a girl like that right now.
All right. Can I hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Good. Yeah, that was interesting. But the really true, the hope. Let me take out this so I can hear you better. Yeah, really truly, yeah, that's good and stuff. But normally, because the discussions dealing with this black male, I didn't want to circle back around to the women. To be honest with you, because I didn't really see the premise for that tonight. To be honest, and be honest with you, there are socially awkward women too. I'm saying that are like I said earlier, that are virgins as well. But the point of this conversation really is focused on the men because, like everything, we are the trendsetters. We're the ones that
I'm
shift.
okay. I'm
Hello?
back. I'm sorry, guys. I had to step out for a second. I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, but you get what I mean. We're the ones that really make the wave and change everything. And when we start doing shit like that, it's a problem. Besides women. But yeah, it's good to see you back, Max. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry about
stepped off. I had to step off for a second. Now, where were we? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chaos. I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
that's what I just want to say. I mean, I never want to interrupt with that. We're going back and forth.
Mm.
Guys like that down here who
Guys,
yeah,
like what?
guys down here like that who late 50, never been married, no kids. I mean, you really had to conceal that type of information from a lot of the women down here. I guess we would say the bad women or whatever, the black women. My experience with that though has been when women who don't want you, or you're trying to press up on somebody who's trying to hustle you out of some money, or she got some type of agenda other than like trying to get to know you. That's when you get in all that difficult deception and lies and abuse. When they down, they just simply don't treat
Where do you think they learn it from?
their friends, their mother, their
No, sir.
aunts.
No, so they learn it from us.
Oh, you talking about how to? Okay, they get manipulated by guys and become worse
Hmm.
on the future.
We
Just
teach we teach them how to lie. We teach them how to be dishonest. We teach them how to manipulate. They get it from us.
I got you on that. I got you. So I can get that. But um, you know, I guess you'd have to get out of that situation. You know what I mean? You can't just sit there and that woman would have to leave that guy before he ruins her.
You keep talking about women. So have you had issues with women or something? Are you having a hard time with women?
I've had some hard times. I've had some victories. I've had some failures.
I mean,
I
are
mean,
you scarred or something? I mean, I don't get it.
I'm
Like
not
you keep bringing
scarred, but I'm saying
back to
I've had
women.
some defeats. Shit, I've had some. I'm just simply saying that they don't look. Everybody don't experience it that way. I mean, just a fucked up relationship. It just went down, and you got out. They got out. Y'all happy when y'all separate way.
Listen, if you want an environment, right, of air quote here, good black women, then you have to create the environment that produces them. If your women are bad, it's because you can't control your environment and you've allowed your environment to become corrupted. Now it breeds bad women. You see, this not accepting responsibility is what's killing you guys.
You talking about? I mean, like, what do you mean accept responsibility for what?
For the environment that you are supposed to protect, the environment that you are supposed to nurture, that environment. That
I,
environment includes the area that surrounds your women and children. That must be in a corrupt free environment in order to produce the proper women. You know, the ones that you guys, can only dream of, the submissive ones, the ones that seek, those type of women. Well, they come out of, right, corrupted free environments.
Now, I have to disagree because it could be me and you. She could put me. Well, no, I'm gonna use you as the example. She could put you through holy hell, and that same woman could be how me and her could be going out, and she's feeling me, and I mean, I'm like, man, we ain't never had an argument. This is the nicest thing. Sending me texts in the morning. I can't. She demand I FaceTime her every day. She might be putting you through hell. She won't never return your text, won't FaceTime you, but she wants you to, if you want to keep seeing me, you got to do A, B, C, and D. And you might, because you want to fuck with her, you might do that. Hoping that y'all can maintain, a relationship, hoping there's some reward at the end. I'm saying that this might be the way you feel. But me, I got sex, first date, head. If we don't, the least she gonna do is head. I'm pushing her off. No, I'm just saying that's that same woman. She's not doing that to everybody. She only doing that to guys she don't like. That's
And
why you
what
got to know how
point
to.
are you trying to make, sir?
My point is, it's not you saying it's the environment. I'm telling you that them the dudes that's catching holy hell from these women, those are dudes barking up the wrong tree. They should leave them alone. They should go find someone who's going to treat them better, treat them right.
If a woman is doing that, then she comes out of a corrupted environment
But what if she treating me right though? That same woman that treat me right.
because she's looking for better. See, the woman on many occasions act and think just like a man sometimes. When she's in a situation that's not conducive to her health or her well-being, she looks for a better place. And she's not going to leave her place because that's where her head is laying, especially if she don't have anywhere else to go. She's going to try to make her bed elsewhere before she leaves. See, men do that too. If you've had a lot of women in your life, well, some women in your life, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you when one relationship is going bad, before you leave that, you make sure you got another pillow somewhere else where you can lay your head. So of course, the new pillow that you're trying to, right, lay your head on, you're going to make sure you're on your P's and Q's there while you're driving the other one, right, out of the situation because you want to leave that situation. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, but you said it was the environment. Like it's something we're
Yes.
collectively doing that's causing the women to act like that. When
Yes. It's something collectively you're not doing.
You know, hey, look, I listen to you guys. You know, we just have to disagree because the guys they like or they want, they fuck with correctly. The guys they do
Who
not
who
want.
who is in control of your environment, sir?
What you talking about, America?
No, no. The area where you grew up, the community,
Yeah,
the neighborhood. You see, the neighborhood I grew up was controlled and ran by men.
nah, I wouldn't even give them that much credit down here. I'd say even women are not running. We talking about like politicians, something like that.
I'm talking about your neighborhood and your community, sir. I'm not talking about politics.
Nobody really run. I mean, it's really independent. It's like you could do whatever you want to do.
Well, then there you go. Then if there's no clear leadership in your community or your neighborhood, then you cannot blame the women for going astray or freaking out because the environment is not conducive for them to stay in line.
But but the women here don't necessarily go astray. They just one thing you have to people have to remember is they do still have freedom. You know, like they can choose to sleep with who they want.
It's not about freedom, sir. It's about creating a environment, right, that they can feel comfortable in to where they won't become corrupt. It's not about freedom.
Hey man, I don't know, man. I just when I deal with them, man, it's like what they gonna do pretty much. What if I say, hey, look, yo, I want you to come to Vegas with me, and they don't hold up, they don't want to fuck with me.
Well, that's
They're
because
not
you
coming to
created
Vegas.
that. That's because you created that kind of environment. There is no shaming in that environment. There are no boundaries in that environment. There's no nothing in that environment. Woman can go and do whatever if she wants. So what do you think she's going to do?
Well, they get shamed. You know, they don't like to be
You
hoes.
haven't laid down anything worth anything so for them to respect. You see, when a woman don't respect you, you're gonna play the hell out of you, bro. She ain't got no respect for you, man. You can pretty much forget it.
You're right about. I agree with you on that. She gonna go for the juggler. You're right.
I guarantee you, if a woman respect you, she wouldn't dare do the things that you're talking about if she respect you. They only do that when they have no respect for you.
I follow you, bro. I follow you.
And you're the cause of that. You see? You are the one that's responsible for them getting getting them to respect you or not. It's how
Well, you
you
can't.
present yourself. It's how you present yourself to them. It's how you are to them. It's how you treat them. All of that comes into play.
You're right. You're right. But you know, you have it's yeah. I agree with you, bro. But I'm just saying, which I don't really focus on when women try to hustle me or play me or some shit like that. I just don't fuck with them. So it's a limit to that. But see, I'm not waiting for her to wake the fuck up and then talk to me right. No, this is a dead. That's on the. It's over with. So we go our separate ways. Now the next nigga she fuck with, that's between her and him. She can make him king, crown that motherfucker. But it's got shit to do with me. I have limits, especially when you start talking about some of the sisters. I have my limits. You have to be able to tolerate them. But then again, like I said, when I have dealt uh, with non-black women, I have been a little bit more free. A lot more less strict and shit like that. But see, I'm not gonna do. I don't meet nobody and then try to make them become, change some devil into a god. I don't try to do that. They got to be a god up front.
Hmm.
I'm big. See down here. Well, it depends on who you're trying to holler at, man. Because if she eye candy, and she getting a lot of attention, she's gonna be very difficult. Very difficult.
You'll make no bed with a God you didn't create.
Well, they be down here. If down here, it depends on what you're looking for. But if you're talking about if she a 10, she gonna submit. If she wants you, she gonna submit up front. It's gonna be y'all gonna be the best thing going, both of
Okay,
y'all.
okay. Let me ask you a question. If I told you that female submission is an act of manhood, would you believe me?
I know what you're saying, man. I know exactly what you're saying. Push the right buttons and all that shit. You can do that if you want to. I would rather for them to be submissive, leaning toward me when I first meet them. I don't like to go through all of that.
You got to earn submissiveness from the female, bro. She's not going to submit to something that she's not going to submit. First of all, she's not going to submit to a man that she can't feel comfortable around. If you can't provide the environment for her to let her hair down and be a woman, she's never going to submit to you.
You're right. You're right. You're right. If you could take her out and you might. I asked. I think I had took a girl out on like 2 dates, and she was real dry. Wasn't getting no feedback, and it's crossed my head. And I said, "Hey, do you even like me?"
You probably didn't because you showed no interest in her.
I showed interest in her. I talked to her and shit like that. She talked to me, man. I mean,
That's not interest.
Now I knew more about her than she knew about me.
For
Way
2 days?
more.
In 2 days?
I knew way more about her than she, did about me.
Which I had been talking for a while before you took her out for 2 days?
I took her out for 2 dates.
2 dates. So you've been dealing with her for a minute, right?
I met her. I think we went out that weekend. We talked on Instagram, and we set up another date. I showed up for the date. She got in the car, and we got there, and I noticed she was she got out her phone, and I asked her to put the phone down, and then she looked at me and she told me she got something she got to do. She wanted to make sure this person, and all of that. And then we went back, and I just noticed it was just real dry. I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere with her. And then I asked her, I said, "Do you even like me?" And she claimed she did, or I would never got her number. But one thing you said about that, she was never comfortable. Though I could just tell. I was like, damn, this motherfucker's. She wasn't comfortable. So, and that
Yes.
didn't pan out. So you exactly right on that one.
So all kinds of reasons why that happened, man. You could have not been what she thought you were. Okay, a situation probably did happen. She probably felt some kind of way the way you responded to it. Could have been a number of things.
Mm.
But my thing is, I don't know how old you are, but I had a stream earlier when I talked about old school courting versus new school dating. You see, courtship produced wives, dating produced single baby mamas. So when you approach a woman, it depends on what mentality that you're approaching her with. Do you have the courtship mind or do you have the dating mind? If you're looking to court, right, then everything about you is going to be completely different because you're looking to invest time into this woman because you want her to be a wife. If you're dating, your mindset is going to be completely different. You don't care. It's a wham bam, thank you, man. And you better hope that your condom holds up before you create a single baby mama. That's pretty much what all dating is good for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, her last, she had her last dude cheated on her. She said, um, I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't went around her long enough to know everything about her, but nah.
Yeah, yeah. You see, you guys are creating all these broken women because you just don't have any respect, right, for the institution of marriage. I'm not talking about the white man's version of it. I'm just talking about the long term relationship between a black man and a black woman, a committed relationship. That's what I call man. I don't call this propaganda, commercialized Western stuff marriage. Okay. I'm talking about a commitment between a black man and a black woman to each other. So you guys have no respect for that, right? And then you end up cheating on these women because you have a dating mindset. You have no interest, right, in being
Mm.
with this woman long term.
I,
And you
I,
don't
I,
tell her that.
hold up. And I've dated women. Hold up. I've dated women. The first date, they know how many brothers and sisters I got. They know, where I work at, my last job. I mean, these are the questions that's constantly inquiring about me, you know,
But
constantly.
it's when you're courting, right? It's not really about questions. It's about spending time with her, getting to know her. Quality. There's a difference between time and quality time.
Mhm. What if she's a liar?
Well, you'll find that out during the courting process. If you're serious about putting some time in with it, you'll find all that out.
Okay.
That's why you
Okay.
court and you spend that quality time so you can get her to open up. Then you can find out the things that you really need. You ain't gonna never find anything out of just dating her.
Yeah. I went on dates and it's been text me before I even get back home. No, I'm just saying it just differs. No, this particular female, she was a liar and she just wasn't attracted to me. So I mean, like to her, we could only we could only go out. I'm like, okay, so we like, can we go to the next level? No, I'm not ready yet. Fuck you mean you're not ready?
The next level. And this is an adult relationship.
Yeah, of course, bro. Grown woman in school, but she had a lot of options. Cause I would show up. I'm like, God damn, all of these college kids walking around here. You know, she got in. She said she was a senior. That's what she said. Well, we know all we did was go out to eat twice, and I took her back, and I haven't heard anything from her. I see her on Instagram, doing her stuff. I go on about my business.
You talk to her on Instagram.
Man, nah, because I wasn't feeling that last date, and when she left, she didn't give me no hug. It was nothing even
See,
remotely romantic. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like you pull up, and she like got out the car. Okay, boom,
see,
got
here's the
back.
problem with it. See, here's the problem with a lot of what you're saying and a lot of what the guys are saying, right? And you blame women for this. So y'all think women are stupid, especially black women. They're
Mm-hmm,
not. If they meet you in a place, right, that is known for whores or prostitutes
mm-hmm,
booty calls or whatever,
mm-hmm.
they're not
Strip club.
gonna. Yeah, they're not going to behave like a wife should behave or behave like a woman with some class is going to behave. You're in a meat market.
Mm-hmm,
You met them in a meat market.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're willing to roll in the hay just like you're willing to roll in the hay.
I,
Usually
I
these end up being usually these end up being your rashes and your single baby mamas.
I have dated strippers before. I've dated strippers. Um, I know a lot of strippers. I see the men they date, and I've often scratched my head why. And I've yet to see a stripper with a like a college guy or some, like just say a guy, a car dealer, just a guy like that. They're always street dudes.
So basically, you're asking a cat, right, to behave like a dog.
If no, I'm saying if nah, no, I'm not asking to do anything. I just, how you live and you learn, and you just see who they choose. You're like, man, why would you want to? That's the kind of
Look,
guy you want to sleep with, but that's what they want.
the environment that you pick women up in, understand. Women are
Mm-hmm.
very conscious, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If you pick them up there in a slutty area that's known for high traffic and sluts or whatever, they're only there probably there for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they probably just want to hit it real quick and keep it moving. They're not
Okay.
going to take you seriously or look at you as some kind of long term mate. Look at where you picked them up at. You think women are dumb? You see, that's what a lot of y'all problems are. Y'all think women are dumb. They're not.
Or actually, I don't think they're dumb, bro, at all. And I told her the only reason. Well, this was a different. This girl was different, but I have dated strippers and we've had sex. The strippers. A stripper. But I know a lot. I haven't done anything. I just worked around them, and I know their IGs, and I've met their guys when they have like a party or some shit like that. All of their guys are hood dudes, and I just was like, man, why did they? I just wondered because I'm like, that's what you like, but that's what they like.
I rest my case, bro.
But
All
it
right.
ain't it ain't me. I don't have anything to do with it. That's their choice.
All right, guys. Before we
Hmm.
continue, I have a lady on the panel. Hello, Mela.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
happy Saturday. Good topic.
Hmm. Have you listened to my dissertation 40 minutes ago or almost close to an hour ago?
I just received the alert that you were live, and I'm here for questions so I could suppose surmise exactly what the opinion of the panel is at the time.
Okay.
All I'm aware of is the title and the last couple of sentences that I joined.
All right. So, to your view, what is your perspective, or have you experienced any males of from what the title is presenting, from your knowledge? No.
Okay, you sound echoed, but I think you said,
Let me repeat
I
my
think
question. Let me
said,
repeat my question. Let
all
me let me
right.
say this from the topic. Have you experienced any of these men from what is descriptive from the title, or just in general of to what you heard so far? I'm not gonna go back what I said earlier.
Oh,
'Cause that's what's coming
okay. So it's about a male being a 40-year-old virgin, not female being a 40-year-old virgin.
out.
Correct?
This whole premise of tonight's stream is dealing with a rise of male virgins that's exceeding. It's not like a growing number; it's slowly coming because of these new terminology, incel, MGTOW, etc. That these men that I'm finding out are interacting with women
Oh,
and probably had no sex with women. But this is how far it's from a black man,
oh.
and it's foreign to me. So that's why I kind of made this discussion.
I find that really disappointing that
Yes.
someone that would reach that age has yet to experience intimacy. And
Hmm.
it's, intimacy is a beautiful thing. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and hear that people have reached that age in life and they haven't experienced it is kind of shocking, actually.
Hmm.
It's kind of shocking. I mean, when I think of 40-year-old virgins, I think of invalids. I think people who aren't physically capable, or they have some type of mental, um like they're in the they have to be under a caregiver, like I can't. This is new. I mean, I know the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, and that was a cute comedy,
Exactly.
but
Have you
I just,
Mhm.
yes, sir. What? I don't know if
heard?
he ever explained in the movie why he was a virgin, you know?
I've not never watched the movie per se, but I know one trend. If I really go and watch the movie, I know it's the same trend that another brother mentioned on that's a content about the certain trend that men do that make themselves socially awkward, and antisocial. Let's say they go to school, they get a degree, they work, they go home and rest. They don't do nothing else. That's like what the 40-year-old virgin. If you go back to the movie in the early parts, that's what he does. He works, go home, maybe exercise, do some, go to sleep, and do it all over again. He does not interact with society, much as the opposite sex. And that's a growing trend that I'm seeing now with brothers. Not a lot, but I see it starting to grow.
Now
And
that I think about it, was the Nutty Professor a virgin? Was that character a virgin as well?
no, I
Oh, okay.
don't think so. but
I never really touched on it. It's safe,
they
when I,
had normal. They had normal.
But just being a virgin, though. I mean, okay, what after he okay, no, he you bring him a hooker or something, and he's no longer a virgin. Okay, it's more to it than that, though. Like
that,
interacting, in a
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, that's why I said intimacy. I didn't say sex. I said intimacy. There's a you know, intimacy. You can buy sex. Hell, I can hang up right now and go buy some sex. I mean, I'm not, but I'm just saying.
You can.
I'm just saying that it's you know, it's not a foreign concept to hire somebody to have sex with you. What is more important is the intimacy. That's what's more, and fortunately, it can lead to sexual intercourse. But intimacy is so much more life-giving, and oftentimes it leads to sexual intercourse, which is even better. And that's all I'm saying. I'm talking about like that, you know.
That's actually more of your. For me, that's I would get more of that than the sex from the relationship.
Well, I don't see a 40-year-old virgins in the black community is a non-issue. There is this whole claim about this large amount of these socially awkward guys is a bunch of nonsense. I knew a socially awkward guy when I was in high school. We were in high school, and I'm talking about I knew one dude. I went to high school, so I mean I knew 7 classes of people. When I was a freshman, there were seniors, juniors, and sophomores already there. When I left, there was juniors behind me, sophomores behind me, freshmen behind me. I knew 7 classes of people. I met one dude who was I met 2 dudes who were socially awkward. One guy I met later on in life after we left high school. He had been to the military. He was no longer socially awkward. He didn't have an issue when it comes to women. The other guy, I have just never seen him again. To expect that even he was a virgin at this point in life, that being so many years ago, it's just nonsense. There is no big rise of socially awkward. People make this argument about these socially awkward guys because when men argue about women, men want to be the baddest man in the room, and women, the community is, when it comes to our women, are heavily involved in the whole culture. There is no man that cannot get pussy in the black community. That don't exist. I've seen men, man, even crackheads got crackhead girlfriends.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I work in the medical field. I know a dude who heavy on oxygen, ain't got no legs, and even he hit his nurse.
So are you saying that?
Situation.
Are you saying there's no such thing as Are you saying there's no such thing as an asexual person?
No. What I'm saying is
just not interested in sex.
What I'm saying is, if you have a person that is not having sex in the black community, the way we have such a whole culture amongst our women, that is a person simply not choosing to have sex, or a person with the inability to have sex. That's it. Ain't nobody else there.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
We got a hole in the wall strip club, and there's a couple of houses where the guys and the girls, you know, they got felonies and whatever, they can't work at a club, but they work out the house. They would take someone like that to one of those places, and he can lose his virginity, but I don't know how much that's going to help him, seeing as how he now knows what he's been missing, and B, like she said, he won't be getting the intimacy that normally comes with a relationship.
Okay,
so I just leave him alone. I let him stay a virgin.
Well, at the end of the day, amongst the black community, the requirement for sex is basically next to nothing, or nothing at all. Men have sex with black women to them, you know, and just about any dude can do this. And there's a culture amongst black women where they're trying to compete with black men. No, I'm saying I started studying stuff in the black community. Black women on purpose go out to find men that they feel are lesser than them, so they can be in control of a relationship. So with the fact that you have women purposely going out to find a man that they actually do not respect, they'll pretend they respect him, respect the guy.
Nah, they not gonna hardly.
I,
You don't need anything.
They not gonna sleep with a man they don't respect, bro. Unless
I,
only way they'll do that if they be prostitutes. That's it. If they
I
regular
was
women,
just
No,
I was just about to say that that's a poverty-stricken goal. You know, like people who are stricken with poverty, of course, they're going to try to exploit any trick that comes along. You know, that's what people who are impoverished do. They try to they hunt for the come up, and that's what they do. That's why I stay away from them.
but
I
see
just can't. I don't even want to witness people that give off that type of vibe. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get his money. I'm going. It's like, well, why not make your own money? What are you doing? And so I know that exists. I don't have any dealings with it. I don't have any. And this might sound kind of elitist. I just learned the difference between socializing with people who are in need versus people who are straight. You know, like the money is the last thing they got to worry about. You know, there's a difference in how they socialize. They're opportunistic. You know, and it
yeah,
can go from prostitution to swindling and some other means,
well, yeah,
and that's men or women. You know, they can't talk to you regularly. They have to tell you what their financial problems are, as if you're gonna come out your pocket, you know, because they're
women do that on
well,
a regular
wait a minute.
basis.
trying to
Women,
be and
wait,
compassion or something.
wait a minute now. Women, there are a lot of women.
Not
Um,
women who are well off.
no, you're
Not
right.
women
Yeah.
who
Oh,
are
yeah.
well off.
No.
Just that.
You're right. You're right. But there are a lot of women who will pretend that they got, say, a move. They got a move, or their car just went down. They'll show you pictures of the car. They'll show you boxes. Um, it'll be lies, you know, in order to get you to participate in trying to help them. Why are you participating in trying to help them? Because you believe there's a possibility that you and her will be together. Now, a lot of dudes gonna say, "Man, they ain't gonna know. That's weak shit. They ain't gonna ever happen." Well, that's not true, because they do that all the time, and they have to run from these guys.
Absolutely, they do it all the time. And hold on, let me say one more thing. Plus, there's a lot of women who are actually very well off or make very good incomes, and they simply spend their money on what they want instead of what they should spend it on, and therefore they always need money because they're not responsible with their income. It's a lot of
I'm not.
people not responsible with their income, and that's something that goes along across American lines. Period. When you just look at how many people owe credit card debt and all that, that's normal in America. Period. That people aren't responsible with their money. And when you add to the fact that they say the average black woman her net worth is only $5, plenty of women that need money. You don't have to look for a certain group or class. They're in every group and class that need
To
money
be
and will be
clear,
able to do.
I wasn't referring to people who are in debt.
No. I'm not saying what you were referring to.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about what you're referring to. I'm talking about if we look at the black community as a whole and the women that are in the black community, most of them are not in financial position the way they would want to be or should be. Therefore, to even think for a second that men ain't out here having sex and doing women financial favors is basically asinine.
Yeah, because that down here,
it's true. It's true. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are in that position where they trying to figure out how to subsidize their income with their vagina, you know,
down here, they're encouraged,
or slick talk, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they do.
This is what I've run into. They will have 3 or 4 guys chasing a carrot, potential relationship. 3 or 4, and they'll have one guy. He's not chasing the carrot. And I'm saying this is what they do to the other girls. They'll take him. They'll even pay for him. They'll even trick off for him because that's their man. It's my man, babe. I ain't gonna put no pressure on my man. But them other guys chasing that carrot who may not know about him, who she might have said, okay, you know, we gonna be together, babe. I just gotta go do this and tell him this, you know. But these are all guys that they want to pursue them, and these guys willing to give them money. Now it might not be a whole lot, but they can get 20, they can get the 30 here, they can get 20 here, and maybe they just make out with the guy. But they tend to be, they don't want to just have sex for money like that. You know, you talk to them why they like that. I don't know.
I mean, even if that's the scenario, those guys are sleeping with somebody else while they're chasing the woman that they want. I'm talking about that 3 or 4 guys chasing that one woman. He's still sleeping with somebody else while he's chasing that one woman that he do want.
I don't know
Right.
about that.
Being that that's the more likely than not scenario that you've just stated, perhaps the 40-year-old virgin had observed that and just figured he didn't want to be bothered with like a relationship. He just cool where he's at. He got his hobbies. He got things that he wants to do that don't include being swindled. So he just decided to remain a virgin.
But you can't take a swindling or hustling, you know, and say, okay, I'm gonna tank it. You know, I'm not gonna bother women because they just want my money, or they don't care anything about me. Everybody got to go through that. That's just life. Some people are gonna be for real, some people are not. You know.
I mean that's true. But my point,
if he's a guy that isolates himself, he doesn't have friends that is telling him, like, I know you think that all these bitches ain't shit. I apologize for using that language, but apparently that's the phrase going around. If he has like assertive male friends that are insisting that he does something about his situation of isolating himself, then I could see him entering off into doing it. But if you got a person that isolates themselves and then they've come to the conclusion all women just want to exploit him, perhaps that's how you wind up with a 40-year-old virgin.
Mela, that's something that's basically non-existent. Is there anybody on this panel that personally knows not having sex? Does any of us even know one?
I don't. I do not. It's shocking to even think about that. That's crazy.
Look. It just depends. If his goal is to get a woman, which is very broad, that would open up a wide demographic. But if his goal is to get a particular type of woman, he doesn't have no game. I don't know
Till
how
40?
Hold up.
We talking about 40 years.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
I'm saying he ain't got no, if he ain't, see, he got to have some experience with these women. So those failures are going to increase his chances for success because he'll learn from those failures. Okay, this right here. Okay, I ain't gonna do it like this, or like that. That's gonna help him, be able to obtain that goal. But if he's 40 years old and he's one experience ran him away, and he's looking for a particular type, and what I mean is it's very possible she might be in demand. So if she in demand, it's gonna make it even harder for him to get, not nobody in demand.
I understand what you're saying, but even in that scenario, you're talking about a man turning down women. That man is turning down women, so therefore it's his choice to be a virgin again. He's turning women down.
I turn down men because I'm separated. I'm not legally divorced, so I turn down advancements
to do that.
Yeah, I just do. I just don't find it.
If the right one yelling, you yell back.
Not actually, because I live a life of principle, and I find it safer.
Everything's different when it comes to a woman because women don't have to chase sex the way men do. But I don't
have to chase.
We understand that already, Melly. You're a woman. You have a vagina. We know there's a difference. But my point is, when you talk about the man that can't get the pussy, the guy don't exist. Because every scenario you even come up with, you're gonna come with a guy who's simply choosing not to. There is no guys in the black community that literally can't go out and get sex unless you're talking about somebody who's mentally disturbed, I'm talking about a real mental issue where they actually need help, or someone with a physical disability. Outside of those guys, there is no guy walking around living a regular life and he can't get sex in the black community. That guy don't exist.
I mean, that's the white community too, though, bro. That's any community. That's any community. But anytime you got standards, or say, okay, you got to have a big butt, man. I like them with big legs. You know, that starts cutting down your opportunities because they don't all come like that. So that's what I'm saying. Now,
I mean, that's true.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, even when you have those guys who say, well, I got these certain standards, so this is what I want. Yeah, we have a standard for relationship. Men have standards for relationship. I recognize that. I'm one of them. I got standards when it comes to relationship. But when it comes to putting your dick in something, you don't need the whole package to put your dick in something. There's plenty of women that a man gonna hit just because she look good. Now, she might have a trash mentality, a terrible personality, or whatever the case is, but you'll hit her because she look good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It might be the chick that you know her because you grew up with her, or you know her through some friends. Maybe you went to high school with her. You know she ain't nothing to be around or be in no relationship with, but she still look good. You'll go and hit it if it's just about getting some sex at the time. You'll go and hit it, but you'll throw her away.
I follow you, but I'm saying if you're a dude who's not really getting sex, I don't see how you could even be throwing her away. I'm saying you would say, okay, I'm gonna pursue something with her because I'm not getting none. So you're gonna lower your standing. You're just gonna drop them down. Okay, this fat girl, who's this? Oh, well, she go to church and she good and she loved the Lord and stuff. And oh, I got a brother that live in the attic. Let me see if I can hook him up. Well, they could be together.
Well, I mean, that's possible, but is a man going to accept a trash bag woman? Because there's so many
trash bag. I'm saying this big girl from church.
I'm talking about trash. She's trash, and however you see her as trash, he might see her as trash because she's big. No, you see what I'm saying?
Not if you're a virgin.
Possible. I'm gonna say possible. I know I wouldn't mess with no fat chick when I was virgin, but that is possible. I give you that. But my thing is, there's so many women right now in the black community that's so desperate for attention. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to be with them, there's so many you can go through that still are nice looking that you can have fun with and just move on.
You know, Roger, you can bang a couple of these 5s, maybe a 6, possibly. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm finna go to a nightclub now. I got to do some work there, but I'm just saying, I see them. It's mostly women in there, but don't get it twisted. That's what I be listening, man. You guys they're not. They want a particular type of guy. They're not in there for anybody. They're not. I see it all the time. It's mostly women in there.
Let me jump in here, please.
Yeah, go ahead, Max, please.
Anyway, what's up, Roger? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
All right. Okay. There are men who are so socially awkward, right, to the point where their mentality becomes repulsive and repugnant to women, and they cannot get any women. These are men who result to having blow-up dolls. Some even want to go and marry robots. There's a whole community out there of men that are so socially awkward that they prefer blow-up dolls and robots to women because they just cannot get a woman on any scale. There are men out there who are in their 50s that have never felt the warmth of a female because they are so socially screwed up that they've become repugnant and repulsive to any woman that comes in their vicinity. This is true. A lot of these guys are MGTOW guys. You'll find MGTOW guys online talking about blow-up dolls and female robots. Okay.
Yep.
They can't get women.
Beyond these talking groups that we are.
There's a whole community of them out there.
Yeah, I know. Say about this.
What color is that community though? What color is that community though?
It's a mixture. It's black, it's white, it's Asian, it's Spanish, Latino, it's German. It's a mixture.
Oh, okay, well,
It's a social awkwardness that is so repugnant to women that any
Mm.
women that they come around, they just repulse the women. Right, the women are afraid of them. They won't even talk to them.
Well,
no, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if they start talking to black women, they would have success. First of all, the non-black men, they're gonna have success with black women anyway, because it's a don't sleep with a guy just because he ain't black. So it's about they a lot of them are upset that they cannot get the women of their community, but it's a bunch of black women that ain't gonna turn them down.
It's a little
well,
deeper than
That's
that.
yeah,
It's a little deeper than that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's actually an insult,
Hmm.
to them to for I'm just gonna put it like a white
no,
guy.
no.
No, wait.
That's
For a white guy
an insult. That's reality.
for a white guy to fuck, and I'm black, but for a white guy to fuck black women amongst his peers, that's a downgrade. Amongst his sisters,
Exactly.
he's fucking with apes.
Um,
Yeah, it's
you
a low level to their society. Yeah, to
you
their
guys
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are aware of Star from the Star Chamber?
Mm-mm, I'm
No,
not.
I can't say
Well,
I am.
well,
I don't think I remember
well.
that.
He's a brother online named Star, right? He used to be famous. He used to be a shock jock back in New York for Hot
Oh
97.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, he does a show. He had a show not too long ago about these sexual robots that they're making now, and these robots are sex slaves, right? There
What do
were
you mean,
black
Star?
men.
Why?
Yeah,
Star?
there
Like
were
Star?
yes, there
I've
were
never
black
heard that.
men, right? There were black men calling in talking about, yeah, I'll take this over a black woman. Yeah, I'd rather be with this than to be with a woman. These were black men calling in saying this. These weren't white guys.
Yeah, well, they can have their if that's what they want, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
there were guys coming and talking
and then,
about, yeah, there were black guys, calling and saying things like, "Man, a woman
go
ain't never gave me no play. I'm 35 years old. I ain't never had no pussy. And this and that. I'd rather have the female robot than fuck women." These are black men saying this.
Well, I mean, look, ain't nobody gonna gift you no woman. You got to go out here and earn it, get knocked upside the head, probably get your credit fucked up. But
It's
I
not
just got to talk to a girl. Her credit 500. She didn't even see a problem with that. So that's
right.
what
The
you have.
issue is, yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but the issue is not the woman that's the problem. It's the guy. These guys have developed such poor social skills, and they're so bad that they repulse women. Women
Yeah,
think they are repugnant.
they make streams against women. You ever notice that, man?
Okay,
I
right.
hear I hear every
what?
word you're saying. I'm just simply saying that if that's what they want, they might not want that. But I would hate to hear anybody walk down that path.
They're already down there, bro. They living on
Well,
that path. They done built condominiums on that path. They pay
Uh,
rent on that
well, I
path.
want I want a bunny in my condominium.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got one question. I got one question. Cause see, I'm the type of person. I know there's enough people that you really can't say anything doesn't exist when it comes to people, because there's enough of us to do it just about anything. But now,
Hmm.
when it comes to the percentage of black men in that position, what would the percentage be? What would be your guesstimation on the percentage of black men that's in just such a bad spot he can't get no woman to give him some?
It's starting to grow, man. Their numbers are starting to grow.
But what would you think that percentage is? And I'm asking because, like I said, I ain't never met
Well,
one.
right. Well, right now, I would say the percentage is low, somewhere around maybe half of half of
50%?
half of a percent right now. But they're growing. You know where else you start to find these guys at? They're showing up at these these socially awkward events like VidCon and these hacker events or whatever. You'll find some of the
Yeah.
weirdest dudes you ever seen in the world over there. Ain't no woman gonna want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
what about the mail order bride situation?
Oh, that's completely different. That's just the man trying to find a woman to his specifications.
I'm saying, well, why wouldn't they do that if they can't
They
get a
probably
woman?
try. They probably try. Again, these guys are so socially screwed up
Hmm.
that they scare the women away.
I got you.
In the midst of a conversation, the woman don't want to have nothing to do with it. The
There's
woman
a
diagnosed very quickly that it's a nutcase and she's out of there.
there's a prison. I seen a prison bride where you can get women who are up for parole. You can start a mail order relationship with them. Maybe I think they let them have emails now. And when they get out, I'm just saying with guys, when they get out, you can, they can come to your place and hopefully romance can happen.
Listen,
You can
there's
do
a
it before
woman.
they get out.
There's a
Find
woman
your
on
defense.
YouTube. There's a woman on YouTube named Irene Yvette, right?
Mhm.
Irene Yvette. She did
Yeah.
a show. Actually, she did 2 shows with MGTOW guys, right? Who date blow up dolls.
Oh
And
shit.
but see, okay, down here, where I'm at, that's considered that's insane, and that's just insane, man. You can't do
Actually,
that.
Were you in Memphis?
Yeah,
actually, on the scale of insanity, these guys aren't insane. They're just socially awkward.
nah, bro, you can't get away with that. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
you're talking about that half a
Well,
percent. Those are the actual crazy
listen.
guys.
Well, listen. You have to understand what social awkwardness is. It's not like it's some kind of insanity type thing. It's just men who don't have the necessary skills to communicate effectively with the opposite sex.
Okay, and they need to learn them.
Yeah, and they can pick
Um,
that up from just about anywhere too.
well, if it was that easy, then
It's
there would be none of them that are socially awkward.
it's not a question of being easy. You got to win them over, man. You got to get out there and deal with them.
They
But
don't
And
have the
why
confidence. You're talking about men
why
who
is
have
there
broken confidence.
why is there a boom in dating coaches these days? They're like dating coaches are becoming it's a lucrative venture
I know,
these days.
I know. Nah, it's a
I'm gonna
lot of
tell you
people
why.
need it. A lot of
Hold on,
people. A
guys.
lot of people are like,
Like, I would say the rise day coach because it goes back to what I've been saying tonight. There are people that like Max and I said, it's a growing trend, and some of these dudes that either can get a woman or they can't get a woman, they're gonna refer to some institute or a man to show them ropes how to get most like permanent in the woman's pants. That's the whole purpose of dating coach.
There are black men on YouTube right now who are in their 30s. They never had a woman,
Yeah,
and they tell you that.
yeah.
And they
yeah,
mad at the women because of it.
but Max,
Okay, but you when you put that number down to half percent, which I won't argue with that number, that sounds reasonable to me because I don't never meet these guys. So
Hmm
I think you're
I
too
think
close to your mic.
I think he fell
if they
off,
really
man.
want to meet a woman, they can learn it because there's places they can go. The reason there's an uprise of dating coaches, honestly, is because white men want to get better white women. And dating coaches came out to service those white men. They
But
don't want to have to go low by dealing with non-white women because they consider that low on a status that white folks have money and they're into status. So if you don't have the money to get the bad white woman, you don't want to go get the bad black woman. You want to get the bad white woman. So therefore, I'm gonna go somewhere to get help. That's where all that dating coaches and stuff came from. It was really about white men trying to get the best of their women.
And and the reason why you guys are probably having a hard time with these dudes is because you're judging them from your standards. They're not you. A lot of them come from sheltered backgrounds where they were molested, brutalized, traumatized, and they're screwed up
Some
in the
have
head.
avocado.
at the end of the day, bro,
Yeah.
they're doing a disservice to themselves, though.
Now,
Well,
and
it's
I'm
not
not
that they
looking at it
don't
from my
want.
standard. I'm looking at what the women require nowadays. Women ain't really requiring nothing.
They gonna
That's not
require
true.
more than that.
I don't know. I don't know who's saying that.
I'm gonna tell you where this comes from. If you look at women complaining about nothing for them, it's fairly obvious to see that they're not requiring anything. I saw a stat about the people born in 2017, and when it talked about the black community,
Hmm
Your
He's
mic,
bugging out.
your
But it
mic
said
keeps.
it's
Roger, you
okay.
bugging out.
You're either
He's
too loud
bugging
or
out.
something's wrong with your mic.
No, he's bugging. Something wrong with his signal. Got a bad signal. He'll get it straight now.
I can understand you sympathetic, Max. I understand where you're coming from.
I'm not being sympathetic. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, these men exist
Okay.
and they are real,
Phone.
and their numbers are
They
growing.
left a decent amount of information saying that out of those women who had a baby amongst the black community, it just said most children out of wedlock, and the fathers of those children made $10,000 a year or less. Now, if you pay attention, you know there's no job that's only going to pay you $10,000 in a year unless it's a job you just started and the year ended. $10,000 a year is not even a bunch of unemployed. Now, they didn't give you the exact number of the men. They just said over 50% of the men.
10,000 job a year. What kind of job is he? Yeah, what is he doing? Just walking around?
No, that's a person that's not employed. More than likely, they're talking about people not employed. So the requirements to get the woman is low. Is very low, and their children's father is proof that the requirement is extremely low right now to get a black woman.
You're right. You're right. If you just saying a woman, you're right. You can go. What do you say? You got homeless. We got I've seen them. You got homeless guys out here in Tent City. If you go down to LA, that Tent City, but right here in Memphis, I see guys, homeless guys. You know, they get in a relationship.
So you're saying that the black woman standard is so low that there should be no reason why a black man shouldn't have one.
No, what I'm saying is, according to the actual information available to us, it's already proven that the standard is low. It's not about an opinion at this point. It's a fact that her standard is very low. And if you even look at them talking about what they've done on social media, about how they men don't do nothing for them, how they don't take care of her, don't take care of the kids. They got all these complaints about these men they got kids by. Okay, you had to have low standards to be in that situation.
But they're not. That same person is saying no to them 6 or 7 guys who are on her social media. She's telling all of them no, thank you. She might be complaining.
Report. May I ask you a question?
What's that?
It's rather personal. I wanted to ask your age.
I'm 42.
All right. And what's preventing you from having been married by now?
The reason I'm not married, because most black women that I've come across fall into I just go with 4 bad categories for now. But at the end of the day, I simply haven't met a woman that I felt was good enough to go buy a ring for. Simple as that. I ain't had a thought about going to go buy a ring so I can propose. So the women I've been with, they've never. It's not a see what it is. You meet black women. Mm-hmm. Our population amongst black women ain't that great. I tell people all the time, if you can just get past the fact that you have so many black women that are fat, I don't like to deal with fat women. You got so many that are in a bunch of debt. You got so many, they got a bunch of kids that have no real family value, and you got a bunch of them that have bad attitudes. When you take that large chunk out the situation, you don't have that many left. So I have not happened to come across a lot of good women before they already got married. I've met some great women, but they were already married when I met them.
Mm-hmm. And so the only great women you've ever encountered were already married.
Exactly, because I've had relationships with women. They were good, but not good enough to marry. Because at the end of the day, I didn't do it.
So you've never been in love?
No, I didn't say I haven't been in love, but there's a difference between you don't. If you're an intelligent person, you don't let love make all your decisions. Love is love, but just because you love somebody don't mean you marry them. There's certain things you want to have in a marriage, and if that person cannot give it to you, you don't marry them whether you love them or not.
I'm saying, okay, I'm not trying to sound like a Walt Disney movie. I'm just saying, like, there comes a time in somebody's life who is fortunate enough to experience it, a euphoria. Like, it could be someone that you see in the produce aisle that is drop dead gorgeous, and
Mhm.
she is kind enough to receive you in a good way when you compliment, when you have enough sense to not objectify her, not you specifically, sir. I'm just putting a scenario out there. Give me a moment. Let's just say a man in the supermarket and he sees a woman that is jaw dropping, and he
Mhm.
has enough sense not to be socially awkward enough to not
Mhm.
objectify her. He wants to approach her. He's not afraid to approach her. The point is how his state of mind. If his state of mind is open enough to where I'm looking for the one, then he's going to approach any woman that he's interested in as if she were to be white. He's not going to put her through interrogation. He's going to finesse her. And it sounds to me like you are in the habit of interrogating a
No,
woman.
hold on. That it don't sound that way to you. That's something you're making up in your own mind because you have no idea on how I even approach women. So you literally just
I
made that
don't.
up in your you right.
I
So
don't.
so my thing is I don't like people trying to give incorrect narrative. Nothing I said sound that way. There's something going on in your mind that has zero to do with me where you just came to all that by yourself. Because I've never told you anything about how I talk to women. But there's something else
And
you got to.
I wouldn't dare ask you because that's too personal. That's none of my damn business. So I wouldn't ask
it,
you
it,
what
it
you
didn't make
do.
a difference. It doesn't make a difference whether you ask me or not. When you start trying to make assertions about me that you have no information on to even make that assertion, we're talking about you doing something wrong. That's basically you lying. You may not be doing it on purpose. You may not even register in your mind that you're lying right now, but you're lying. I don't like people that lie all the time. So I have to stop that right then and there. You don't know nothing about me to even make that assertion. The only thing you understand is, and you're not even thinking about a situation, you're not a man. Sometimes you meet a gorgeous woman, she already got a boyfriend. And if you're looking for a wife, you don't deal with a woman that already has a boyfriend. Sometimes the woman is already married at the time you meet her. A lot of things is about timing. The issue is if there were so many great women available, able to meet them basically anywhere.
All right.
You know how if you in your state you can find grass, and I'm in my state I can find grass because grass is very available. You can find it everywhere. When you have a large section of men, which is very large right now in the black community, that is married, and that you cannot say the women are great because the men aren't marrying the women. Men intentionally marry great women, and sometimes they even make mistakes on that because they don't stay married. But the intention is to marry a great woman. No man purposely marries a woman that he doesn't think is going to be great.
Let me comment on that real quick. These women here, if they like real fine, real pretty red, they gobbled up. They don't make it to 22. The guy put the ring on the finger. She ain't no way. It's 28, 29 when they get thrown back on the market. Then you'll have another shot at them. But
Well, let me ask you this, since you said that. First of all, we have an echo.
Yeah, somebody please hit the line. I'm here. Echo Rogers. Check if you driver my echo.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Now, are you saying that the whole purpose of getting with a black woman for a long-term relationship or a possible successful marriage is the fact that she looks good?
And I haven't made any comments basically on about how the woman looks. I said when it comes to marrying a woman, the intention of the man is to
No,
marry
not
a
you,
great
Roger.
woman.
Not you, Roger. I was
Oh, okay.
I'm asking. I believe his name is Platinum.
yeah. What were you asking me?
So you're saying, based off your last comment, right?
Mhm,
about women being snatched up because they're pretty or whatever. Are
mhm.
you saying that the whole purpose of getting with a woman, or the main purpose of getting with a black woman for a possible long-term successful marriage, is the fact that she looks good?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. And
That's
you
why my
wonder
first
why
husband married me.
marriages don't last today.
I said that's why my first husband. That's he confessed. That's what it was. He said I was so fine that he had to have me, even though looking back on it, and I confess this.
Was she your mid 20s?
Looking, no, I was young and attractive and a virgin. He thought he hit the lottery. That's what it was.
Yeah, he did. He
And
did.
So what, you were in your 20s or late 20s
Right. You
when
see,
you
and
blacked
the
out?
thing about that, when you fall for women like that and you find out that they're crazy after you done married them, right? And you
no,
realize
no,
that
he
you've
was
made a
the
mistake.
no, actually he was a tyrant. I couldn't take it
I
any
wasn't
longer.
I wasn't talking to you.
Well, see,
Oh, I
we're
thought you
two.
were. My bad. Because I heard the question of how old I was, and then I heard you, and I confused the
Yeah,
two. My
so
bad.
platinum, so like I was saying, so when you go on these looks, man, that can be a serious trick bag. You know that, right?
Bruh, that's what they go by down here, man.
That's a
Especially,
serious trick.
especially the people with the money. I just walked. I went somewhere and wasn't nothing but Benzes out there. They had some type of. They had a dinner, and it was older brothers. I saw a lot of older brothers with black women. All of them dressed real proper. Probably retired twice. None, none but the best. Um, amongst the guys, the fellows, the barbershop crowd, the everyday brother, that's lottery. That's life. If I say, hey
Well,
man, she got money, they look at me. If I say, man, look at this, right? Let me show you this thing I'm dealing with right now. They go, go, God, woo!
most successful men, married men with means who've been in relationships or married for like, 15, 18 years will tell you that's the most unreliable method to go on a woman's looks.
No,
Mhm.
well, it's
Okay,
not
but
like men are only picking women just for their looks. Looks get a woman in the door. I'm pretty sure the man wants something else besides looks.
Hmm.
had his
Um, I
babies.
apologize. I apologize for interrupting. Apparently, Officer Faulkner is awaiting to join the panel.
Oh, okay.
Woo! The
And I,
black Superman has arrived.
okay.
Woo!
Unfortunately, I got to bail out, man. I got to go do this thing right.
But don't run now,
Okay.
man.
Oh,
Woo!
what he has something for me?
Woo!
No, 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 no.
Woo!
Do you think platinum? Do you
It's
think?
the
Thank you.
man of steel and sex appeal, goddammit.
Okay.
The black
All right,
Superman
well,
has
take it easy,
arrived.
Platinum. Take it easy.
Okay, y'all.
Man,
All
thank
right.
you for your input. Hey, yo, platinum. Congrats
Okay,
for
bye,
that, man.
Platinum. Bye, Platinum, and
What
be
is the
well.
what is the question I've heard? Because I was listening at the back end of what men will marry a woman for. It reminds me of this experiment I did this week. If you're friends on me on Facebook, you've probably seen it. I rarely put pictures of my son for various reasons, but when I do, it's usually him and his best friend playing around or having a haircut.
Okay.
I'll probably get maximum 20 likes. Me working out at the gym, maybe 5, 10 likes. Maybe saying something funny, 5, 10, maybe 30 likes. When I say the comment, how does a man deal with an unsubmissive woman? He doesn't. I have over 500 comments and counting. There's a reason why for that, because one, in the black community, this is how it's always treated about black men and their opinions. You shouldn't have them
Hmm.
unless your woman gives it to you. Do you know how many women say, well, if the woman's unsubmissive, he got to prove himself? No, he doesn't. You just got to leave your ass alone. See, real men do what they want, boys do what they can. So, when you look at relationships, yes, men marry women who are the prettiest they could get, the most available. Because you got to understand something. Who you marry and who you date is a status symbol to the men. She could be a project chick, but she pretty. You could make her a queen. The reverse can't happen. How many men you know become kings after dating a queen? None. Look at Queen Elizabeth and her husband.
Mhm.
He's called the royal consort. You know what that
Yeah.
really means in fancy words? the, the nigga the queen fucking.
The court jester.
The, the man who can't be king on his own.
Yeah.
This nigga here.
Uh,
The problem is that, like I had to tell many females on my post, why do so many of you bring your unsolicited comments to a post that you don't like? If I don't like something, I stay clear of it. I don't like sauerkraut. You won't even see it in my house. Hell, I won't even walk past sauerkraut in the damn supermarket aisle. But they had to come over there. Oh, who hurt you? Nobody. Oh, and that one chick, she was so funny. She tried to make it seem like I was trying to talk to her. I was like, chick, number one, you look like a retired boxer in the face.
wow.
Number two, well, you're probably short. Well, I'm 5'10", so I'm about an inch or two taller than the average man. And, well, you work out because you're just moderately good looking. Well, I'd rather be moderately good looking than be explosively ugly. And the point is not to rag on her because life already beat me to it. And that's the reason why I'm not going to do any more of it. It's the fact that in the black community, we don't value a lot of the men's opinions or the men's facts. I've heard so much of they want a leader, but they just don't want to be told what to do. And what does a leader do?
He delegates.
He delegates, which means commonly he does what?
He tells you what to do.
Exactly. Right. You cannot ask God Almighty for rain without the sky being cloudy, can you?
Or the mud.
You cannot ask for fish without going to the fucking deep blue sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask for getting stronger and losing weight without sweating your ass off, can you?
That's right.
So how can you ask for leaders, but you want them to shut the fuck up and do what they told? See, the problem is I had to say this. I'm sorry, Max, but I'm going to say this real quick. See, the problem is that we need to tell the truth. Y'all just want alpha men to be alpha to everybody else but you. Now you can continue, Max.
Now, Charles, what do you say about women who, when they talk, right, and they espouse ridiculous things, usually out of ignorance, right? And you call them on it, and you call them on being wrong. Then they turn around and say you have a problem with a woman speaking.
I would tell them I do, especially when they say stupid shit. It's better to be seen and not heard. Or as my father would say, it's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. See, we got away from that shit. You got to respect a woman's opinion. Why? Just like those women said, a man has to prove himself. You think a woman doesn't? See, actually, before a man even goes up to you to say, I'm married, he already knows what he got. You already know what this motherfucker got. Because he wouldn't even have the audacity to ask your hand in marriage without him being straight. See, now, the shoes on the other feet. Oh, go ahead, Max.
They got this thing now because they feel that they're the most educated, right? So some of them think that gives them a license to talk all the time about everything, and that we should listen to everything they say.
Have you ever really, Max? Have you ever really talked to some of these educated motherfuckers?
Yes, I have talked to one
They cannot formulate a sentence without a textbook telling them first.
I was on KS's panel the other day. A so-called intellectual female who's in here right now seemed to think that she knows a lot of stuff, and she doesn't.
No, they won't. Give me how many times have I debated men and women?
Plenty.
When have I lost?
Never.
Because I keep it to the simplest common denominator. For all your education, what have you done for your community? For all your education, are you still mad and upset you can't get a man? How has that been for you? Last time I checked, a garbage man, which is a great profession, by the way, can get women anytime he wants.
What? You mean that dusty nigga can get women?
I love being dusty. You know why? Dusty means that's a hard working man.
Yeah. Well, I forgot you a dusty nigga, Charles.
And that's we trust. I'm dusty.
Yeah.
I work in the streets of Baltimore as a police officer. I get down what the motherfucking get down.
Oh, dusty ass nigga.
Oh, I love being dusty. You know why? Because I ain't spending too much goddamn time in the mirror like a bitch.
Mm.
You know what? I got a cousin that's a garbage man. He was a garbage man when I was growing up. He's still a garbage man, and he still hasn't fell off yet. He's living quite well. So
they make good money.
But based on what he made good money when he first told me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was
good money.
That was more than a decade ago. You know what I'm saying? Well, that was more than a couple decades ago now. He been making good money. But my thing is, I ain't never found the garbage man that's hurting. I ain't found him. Not yet.
Have you seen of a broke police officer?
Nope.
No, I haven't come across that. I haven't come across that.
A broke HVAC tech?
I haven't come across that either.
A broke truck driver, especially if he's an owner-operator?
Not at all.
So, for all your education, aren't you still in debt?
Mm-hmm.
But see,
I'm going to get married. I need a man to help me with all this goddamn student loans.
But
I said, chick, you better go find Charles, hold on, let me say this. If any chick that brought that to me, I said, you better go find a way to get that money for Sallie Mae. Get that out of my face, right? I know one chick right now on social media, she complaining bitch about where she has to go pay off Sallie Mae. I said, well, that's the consequence you get for getting that degree.
You know, this is a truly smart woman. They would actually, before they go to college, marry a nigga with benefits.
Mm-hmm.
They would be, if women were actually smart, especially in the community, they would hover around a military base. Oh, you got VA loans? Oh, you got VA benefits? Oh, you got a GI Bill? Hey. Mm-hmm. Get all the education you want.
But that was my point. I don't know if you heard it, but when I said that women purposely go after men that are in a lesser position than them, because the goal is for them to basically be the man of the relationship. So they're not really looking for the guys who are in good position. They're purposely going past those guys.
You know why? Because they suffer from low self-esteem.
I totally agree.
A submissive, cooperative woman, notice they have the highest self-esteem.
Oh, absolutely.
Notice they're happy. They'll cook and clean a goddamn house 3 ways to Sunday. But guess what? They don't have to ask that man to fix a sink. They don't have to ask that man to cut grass, take out the trash. None of that shit. So, who's getting, for all their education, you're getting women who are living better lives debt-free just for being nice, cool, caring.
Yeah.
I want to be the man. No, you just want to low-brow somebody because you can't make it.
Mm-hmm. You know, it kills me how they just make up all these things in the middle of a conversation, things that never existed before. Okay? I mean, just some of the wildest things. And it's like, if you call them out on it, it's because you can't take the presence of a woman, or you are not used to women speaking, or some crap like it. Some old feminist shit.
Well, the average sister today is basically a feminist. If you listen to their beliefs and how they carry themselves, and you compare that to a feminist, you're not really going to see a difference. So, and not to attack Mella, but that's why I had to stop her when she said what she said about me, because I don't like false narratives. I just don't like them. Period. You know.
I'm glad you did that, because that's a feminist tactic.
Well, my thing is, and it wasn't even an attack to her. I want her to recognize when because she's been trained to go into a lie. You know, which most black women will when they talk to a competent man. They talk to a productive man, and you say something like, "Oh, she asked me my age. Yeah, I'm 42. well, you're not married yet. You seem like the type of guy that interrogates. No, I never gave you any information on how I deal with women. So you all that came from your mind, and that was in your mind before we got on the panel tonight. My thing
That
is,
is
men need to call women out on stuff like that so they can start recognizing certain things about themselves. Because if you want to say you're on the man's side, you do have to recognize the flaws you have too, and you
that's
can't make progress without recognizing those flaws.
right. That's
You
a
know, and that's
feminist.
not to attack Mella. It was just an example.
That's a
This is
feminist
the
tactic.
this is the reason why Max has always called me the feminist killer,
That's right.
the feminist assassin, because it's like Superman. What happens when the criminals try to shoot Superman with a machine gun?
The bullets bounce off, baby.
What do you think their shaman tactics do to me? They don't fucking affect me. So you're trying to tell me physically, economically, career-wise, I'm not a suitable man? See, I had to tell out to a certain YouTuber that will go nameless. I'm a man that you can't get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about as far from you as the East is from the West. What makes you angry is that I'm not one of these sucker ass dudes out here who's kissing your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I could actually stand on my own 2 size 12s and say, I don't need you. Fuck you and your respect. Like I said before, what men need to start doing in the community, if you can't find a submissive woman, go to a woman that will follow your program, that will treat you like a man, and you deal with her. Stop trying to go through the stress of dealing with a person who is just of ill will. That's
Right.
unbecoming of a man. Actually,
Well, you know, I want to push the fact that I think what a lot of men need to do, because like I said, I don't want to come across like I'm picking on Mella, but this is an example of what I feel men need to do. We need to start letting women know exactly what's wrong with them when they do certain stuff. That's why I wanted to stop her when she was going into that narrative about me that was unfitting. Because if you don't make a person recognize what they're doing wrong, they can always say they don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you point it out to them directly, maybe they're going to learn from it and try to do better. Maybe they're not. But they'll never be in a position again to be able to say, I didn't know. Because folks love to go to, I don't know.
Well, you're wasting your time with a woman that has a feminist mentality because they train them to believe that men are always wrong about everything.
but at the
What?
same time, men are the glue that holds the society together. Women always take from the society. That's how it's always been. We don't look at the honesty that's being told. You know, as they say, the game is to be sold, not told. That's the reason why
And
you keep giving women this free validation, man. Not you, but especially black men in the community. They give away this free validation without making your women earn it. Guess what? For you to get with a pretty chick, is she gonna make you take her out on dates? Well, for some of you who still date, shit, I don't even know what a date is. Hey, you coming over or not? But
Mm-hmm.
but it's the fact of the matter. You're giving away all this free validation. All you get is a hard dick and an even harder way to go.
Yeah.
Dry dick and a headache do not mix.
And you're lucky play cards like you're boss.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Having you
true.
giving her all these beautiful compliments and shit. And your dick harder than fucking calculus, a jail sentence, and a tax audit. God damn.
But see, my point is, if you don't tell women what you expect and put a higher expectation on them, there's no reason to change. Because see, Mella has been on my show, so me and Mella are cool. But I don't like anyone giving a false narrative. It's not about how cool I am with you, but I do want her or anyone else that hears this later to think about the things that they're doing while they're doing it. And if a man tells you, because the real issue, based on my opinion, from what I heard, the issue was I'm 42, but I haven't found any woman I felt would be proposing to. Okay, that was actually single. So in her mind, something happened where it couldn't be the women that you're running across. Even though you have this big array of black women that are unmarried because no man has seen fit to marry them. Yet somehow, because I'm 42, I'm supposed to just have run across all these women that were worth marrying, and they were single at the time I met them, and for some reason I just couldn't make it happen. We
Right,
can't let
right.
narratives like that work. So my
And then
thing
that,
is, you got to push those things.
because
Go ahead,
women have
man.
no because
and
women
to
have no
add to
agent.
that, and to add to that, right? Because you're 42, there's something supposed to be wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with the women that you came in contact with. No, something is wrong with you. You see, you can't have a choice, right? Only women can get the chance to have the choice. You can't be pro-choice for yourself. But nah, I don't want to deal with this woman because she don't meet my standards. What? You a man? There must be something wrong with you. That's why they can't believe it because they trained to think that we're wrong about everything, and we don't have any choice. We can't make any real decisions. Okay, that's going to better our lives. Okay, we have to go with any old woman that comes down the pike because we're supposed to be men.
Yeah, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big.
that's why they think that way. That's why she couldn't understand, right? Why he wouldn't marry because she has a corrupted way of thinking about black men.
And
It's
see,
that
my
Is
thing
that
is,
foolish
true?
mindset.
but see, Mela, my point is, I don't even believe you were coming from a vicious place. This is just simply what you've been trained to do over time. And my thing is that needs to be corrected amongst black women. At the end of the day, if a man is going to make that leap to marry a woman, he's basically agreeing to take care of that woman. You don't do that for anybody.
That's correct. And I will concede, I will absolutely concede that it is not a matter of equality between men and women. That is a non-negotiable. There is no equality between men and women. And the fact that women are asserting themselves to be equal to men is causing chaos amongst us. I will concede to that.
Ray.
No pun intended.
Kind of
Chaos.
ridiculous. See, that's the
But
kind.
but
See how
I
ridiculous
want
does
women
that
in here in
sound?
the audience. Well, let me say this
Why is
real
that
quick, Mac.
ridiculous?
Let me say this real quick, Mac. I want women in the audience when they hear this to understand that if there's men that are refusing to marry you, you have to understand that is not our problem as men. That is your problem as women, and you need to make the corrective action. Because for every woman I deny, there's millions of more men that could have married you, and if none of them choose to do it, it's not a personal issue of mine. It's an issue of what's going on with you that no man wants to do this. No guy wants to be in position of husband to you.
The only reason that I was
And that's not against you, Mela. I'm just saying that for
I know
audience sake. I'm just
I
saying it for audience
understand.
sake.
Yeah, we've
Because we
exchanged.
cool. We cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. What had occurred for myself personally is not to assert that I'm equal to who was courting me. And that's what made me even more attractive. And that's what it is. So all these accusations of being a feminist is somebody that has a political agenda towards absolute equality amongst the genders, and that's not where I'm coming from at all. I've been married twice. I know what it is. I already know what it is. And when I say I've been married twice, it's kind of like my second marriage still exists. It's just, he's experiencing something that he doesn't want me to experience his weaknesses, his medical weaknesses, and he doesn't think I should be burdened with that. And so that is the essence of why we're separated. He thinks it's too burdensome for me to experience his medical weaknesses, and he was kind enough to suggest that maybe we should get back together when I feel, when I can be who I was with you. And that's why, that's why I don't sit up here and go to taverns and clubs. I find it safer to socialize online, and people have welcomed me because of different types of personality traits or information that I've offered, or the cooperation, or dare I say, sometimes I've been known to snap on people in such a shocking way, they found it exceptionally entertaining. And so, because I'm multifaceted for whatever reason, although I'm not a channel holder, for some reason, it's just this awareness of my persona. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to clear up this assumption about being a feminist. I want to thank you for that, because that's not the case at all. Not at all.
See, the problem with feminism is this: it's not about equality. Here's the dirty little secret about feminism for the lady and the fellas on here. Feminism wants superiority over men. And they're telling women a very big, bold lie, because without your men, how would you survive? If men stop doing the manly things that they do, like defend the country, how long do you think the country would last? So when I look at feminism, it's not about equality, it's about superiority. Think about it. Women get a lot of strength through their femininity, through being submissive, through being cooperative. When you're that pleasant woman, a man is going to do everything to move heaven and earth to please you.
It's hard to hear you, officer. Somebody needs to mute or something.
I was saying, when a woman's being submissive and cooperative, a man goes out of their way to please that woman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He'll move heaven and earth to please her. So a lot of women,
Absolutely.
a lot of women actually cheat themselves out of good things and and listening to this feminist rhetoric, which it is. Oh, we could do it just like the men. And guess what? Go fix that tire. Oh, I can't lift it. No, you said you're my equal. Anything that's equal to me, I do not have to protect. Is that correct?
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
being in a form of submission, which is cooperatives, and listening to that man's leadership will actually keep a lot of women out of trouble. Have you ever noticed when a woman listens, her life goes so much easier? She doesn't have to struggle. She literally can be walking on cloud nine, sitting on that man's shoulders, and she's living a good life.
Mm-hmm.
The women who are always in this feminist rhetoric, they're the ones difficult. Notice how old they look. Notice how manly they look, because they're going through hormonal changes, because they're stressed the hell out.
Yeah, a lot of them are dykes too.
That's because they're mad because no man wants that. If we wanted masculine women, we might as well date just men.
Absolutely.
That's why you see women who are super feminine and value their femininity.
And you
They
know
can't
what,
stay
Charles?
single long enough.
And the ones who look the worst got the most to say, like Tawana Burke. Oh my God.
Oh my
They're the
God.
ones who say
Tawana
the
Burke looked like she was
craziest
stricken.
things.
She looked like she was bitten by a radioactive raccoon, spider, and struck down by gamma rays.
And that crazy one, Amber Jones, talking about all black men are rapists and black boys gonna be rapists, and you done raped a woman. And you're, man, these are horrible looking women.
But these are the same women that said black men ain't shit, but they can't get a man.
Well, when you're a single woman, you attack everything except the problem, which is you. So I understand why black women are going to stay surf like that if no one's actually proposed to them, no one's married them, at least no one that actually stayed married. Because even in marriages, my thing is like, if you don't stay married, then you can't. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that go along with not staying married. I'm not gonna say all those people are bad people, because at least they attempted to. But what a lot of people don't think about is like, take a guy like myself. Now, of course, you're not gonna know it when you meet me, but I come from a larger family. I, I've seen divorce. I've seen multiple certain people who are married multiple times, and I know people who are related to me that, as far as I can remember, they've been married. I'm 42 and they still married. I know how marriages work. So I'm not gonna marry a woman that I can't get through a lifetime with because I have no interest in marrying a woman that I can't get a lifetime with. And a lot of women just don't want to catch on to that. I have no interest in marrying someone that I'm gonna be divorced to in 5 years. That makes no sense to me. But does someone have the show playing in the background? That's what it sounds like I'm hearing.
Was it that you're hearing?
It sounds like someone has a show playing in the background.
Okay, let me turn
Is
it
that
down.
just me?
No, that's me.
No, that's Maximum Black.
All right, guys, this is
Thank
what
you.
I'm gonna do because I don't want the show to be any longer than it is. I'm pushing a certain mark. I'm gonna open mic Mary's mic one more time, and everybody's gonna say the conclusions. All right, Mary, open your mic. What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
What's up, Mary? What's going
Hold
on?
on. What's going
up?
on?
Hey, hola.
Ah, y'all doing good? Y'all doing good tonight? What y'all was talking about? I ain't catch all of it.
It's about to, I mean, you know,
Don't nobody know nothing. Like you know.
The 40-year-old
perfect timing.
virgins in the
Perfect
black
timing. Perfect timing.
The show was about the 40-year-old virgins in the black community.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I can't grasp that concept, especially in this day and age.
well, you know, I'll say this, Mary. What's your take about this rise of black incels and MGTOWs, that ones that you find at a certain age that's not getting no coochie, that's virgins at 30, late 30s, 40s, and even 50s? What's your take on that? That's what
Man, to me, that's a sad case. I think they need to step their game up. You know, I mean, a woman has a right to be attracted to whatever she's attracted to. That's not my issue. When I tell sisters to choose better, that's not my issue. My issue is if you're gonna make that choice and that decision, you don't then get to come and bring that dysfunctional situation to me as if I owe you something. See, and that's the problem that I have. Don't do what you want to do, but don't bring your shit to me like I owe you something. See, now it's a community issue when you got a little bastard here. You see what I'm saying? That's not the way this is gonna work. You see, that's not the way it's gonna work. You know, so. But I mean, a woman has the right to have it. I mean, I'm not going to fault a sister for wanting an attractive guy that has a little swagger. The only reason why you would have a problem with that is if you can't fit that criteria.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm gonna tell a dirty little secret about swagger. In the black community, swagger means you make little to no money, or you make less than me as a woman. That's what swagger is. That's why the women can't define it for you.
Okay, where you get that from, though? I don't believe that.
Based on their mating habits. I don't care about what they're talking about. I look at what they do. When you have babies by a bunch, there's only 4 productive ways in this country to be. There's only 4 productive things to do, and you're a man in this country. And they've opened it up to women too. There's only 4 things. When you have babies by men not doing any of the 4 things, I understand what your swagger is. And when you leave high school, then you can go to the military, you can go get a job, you can go to college, or you can go start a business. They mess with men that ain't doing none of the 4. So swagger is just a man that I feel I can be above. If you got a man making $30,000 a year, and a woman who makes $60,000 a year would be happy to date him because she wants to be above that man. That's what swagger is.
I think that plays a part into it to an extent. But I also think you're oversimplifying it. I think you're oversimplifying the issue. Like a lot of times, these mating choices are no. Listen, I mean, these mating choices are multivariate, and then it's not as if we can't look back throughout the prism of time and see the same types of behavior in the absence of an industrialized society. Like if you go look at in antiquity from classical times until now, the segment of society that outbreeds the rest of society is the bottom. Our bottom feeders, both men and women. I
wasn't saying it was everything. but it is a large part of what's going on right now amongst our
Okay.
community. It is a large segment. If you
Yeah,
talk to women all the time, they have a belief, and even men have this belief that black women out earn black men, and that is not even a
that's true.
fact.
That's
So how
true.
do they have this belief? They mess with the men and make less than them on purpose. That's why
Right.
they believe it.
I
Can
think
we
that's true too, to a certain extent though.
Yeah.
can we consider a stratosphere example as to whether or not we conceive he was a 40-year-old virgin? The late great Michael Jackson, right?
Mhm.
It is safe to say that his children are not of his seed.
Yeah,
Right.
but Mike was banging Brooke Shields.
That is that I don't know if Brooke Shields ever said they had sex. I
Well,
don't
the
know if
word
his
about Mike is he was putting it down. I'm gonna tell you that now.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Mike had
okay.
plenty of women.
he was moonwalking all
Okay.
over that pussy.
That
Yeah.
little soft voice, frail act, that was an act he put on for the public. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
Mike been famous since he was 5. Be realistic with yourself.
what I would like to say about that, I found out the way he was singing those songs as if he was experiencing intimacy with young girls at a young age, you know, his young songs that just made everybody fascinated as to whether or not he was had swag, you know, like, damn, this 7-year-old boy is singing as if he knows what it's like to be with a woman. That's one of his signature iconic remembrances amongst the masses. What I will say is this: what I was trying to figure out, because that did disturb me. Why is this young boy singing at
He
7
probably had
years
sex with
old?
grown women. He probably
Well,
had sex with grown women.
I've heard the Diana Ross rumors, all that, right? I really looked deep into it, and what
If you
I
look
found
into any
out.
child stars, if you look at child stars, black male child stars, when they're children, they do have sex with grown women. Even Bow Wow, when he was 13, said that the first time he got his dick sucked in a nightclub, if I remember the story correctly, the first time he got his dick sucked in a nightclub, he was 13. It was a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah.
When you famous, women are going. That's just how it works.
So
Mike been
Michael,
famous since he was 5.
so Michael Jackson was basically molested as a child, and
I'm
that changed.
very confident. Very confident of that.
Exactly.
Very confident of that.
Watching this lay out something that really makes a lot of sense. Exactly. You could tell how he behaved even with the children. He been touched very young. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is in Hollywood. Hollywood. If you're not getting fucked before you reach 10, something wrong. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to end tonight's stream. Any close remarks for people that was on this panel for this lovely discussion tonight?
Gratitude for your time. I enjoyed everything.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Okay. I guess your silence is enough. I'd like to thank everybody for listening tonight. Mm-hmm. What?
I was just saying, this is Roger Stevens of the Roger Report. Y'all, please check out my channel as well, and the Black Dimension if you're into entertainment stuff, and that's Black with BLAKK if you're into entertainment stuff.
Cool.
Okay.
And thanks for letting me be here, K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's a good show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
All right. Good. And Mary, you and me, we're gonna probably do a stream sometime, down the line. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank everybody for listening to tonight's show. Please comment at the end of this video. If you're not subscribed to Chaos Reign channel, please subscribe. And there's a bell button, 3 options. Pick one, depending on how the notifications you get from my channel is determined by the 3 bells you select. So select wisely. Also, if you haven't liked this stream, please like it. And that's pretty much it. But other than that, let the chaos reign.
Peace.